Howdy, folks. Welcome to Adventures in Alberon, our 5th edition D&D campaign. I am your Dungeon Master for this evening and most, Joe Truff, and joining me are my friends, Matt, Dan, Hannah, and Alana. This is the finale of our 4-year-long campaign, session 128. Technically, actually, I think it's session 145 or something like that for the pre-stream episodes. But before we jump into that, a couple of quick announcements. First of all, last night we played Mosaic Team 5, which is our Starfinder campaign. The group is making their way through a laboratory with much success, doing nothing wrong.
Relatively much success. We haven't died.
We had like 3 great ideas and also 3 really bad ideas.
Yeah, no, it evened out. But that is, Mosaic Team 5 is our Starfinder campaign. We play every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then it re-airs on YouTube. That is Sunday at noon, followed by this session, which will be at 4 p.m. Our YouTube is at Alberon RPG, which coincidentally is also all of our other social media, Instagram, things like that. We have a lot of maps, terrain, all kinds of things that are harder to see on these cameras, although they are definitely getting better. But you can find those on Instagram at Alberon RPG. Whew. And then this is the final session of our campaign, so the next 4 Fridays will be Adventures in Alberon Sea of Ice. And that is a game run by Kara, who plays in Mosaic Team 5. It is going to have myself, Matt, Hannah, Miles,
and
Olive. All as players. I got it. It took me a little bit.
And Kara.
And Kara as the DM. This is going to be a high seas adventure that is taking place in a very cold environment. And it's going to be a great bridge campaign between this and Campaign 2. That is going to begin.
The filler arc.
Yeah, it's the filler arc.
But it's canon filler arc.
That's the thing. All of our one-shots are canon because I don't like the idea of a filler arc. Everything should count.
Yeah.
January 6th is going to be Session 1 of Adventures in Alberon Campaign 2, which loosely titled Courts of Everest. That is going to be a very Feywild-themed campaign taking place in Everest, just across the Emerald Expanse, and about 10 years after whatever happens tonight. So that is going to be January 6th, I believe. And then, finally, the only other announcement that I have is that for the music and sound effects, such as this music, which is, I believe, called Shadows of Esaturn, which I think is a module.
Okay.
There you go. I can just blast it real quick.
It's stirring.
It is a good
Yeah,
one.
it's a good one.
I thought this was a good, nice, not too dark for the rest of the evening, but yeah, definitely epic. You can do all kinds of things. You can do, lightning bolts. You can do a Wilhelm scream. You could do drums. You can do all kinds of things. Yeah. Sirenscape, digital tool set that you can use to add sound to your games. And with that, we can get into our recap. Our very final recap.
Eat your feelings a lot.
That's emotional support.
Everybody needs an emotional support item.
Get over here.
Fate Changers. Last we played, you all found yourself in the Chapel of Charred Steel, a burned space that seemed to be themed towards some kind of worship here in the Asimir settlement known as a Burning Bastion. Brenna, there was a figure from your past there, Keeper Zera, another gnome, although this one radically changed by Zystris and perhaps Azra herself. With her was a beholder-like creature, created from the various anatomical components of the rest of her order of mages, the Choir Golem. Eleanor, you managed to blind this beholder-like creature that spent much of the beginning of this fight keeping Akka locked in a corner and the rapier that you traditionally use stuck on the floor. After blinding the main eye, the tides of the battle changed drastically. Brenna, you followed up with a huge attack, severing every eye stalk from the top of this creature's head before cleaving it nearly in two. At times, you fought against Oakfeld, who at one point lifted the beholder and heaved it into the hallway, making it nearly impossible to attack beyond the range of its anti-magic field. But in spite of that, once Oakfeld went down and was safely out of the way, You managed to overcome Keeper Zera. With her on the ground, you progressed up and down a hallway to a massive space beyond. And that is where we begin this evening.
Take a look at my spell slottage.
We also hid the phylacteries.
Hid the phylacteries, left the
Do not
message
have them
for
with
Shay.
us.
Yes. Maybe we'll get to that. So, for all of you, in the space that you see beyond this very short hallway, you can see on the edges of this massive building of steel, these steps that seem to have emerged, larger than traditional steps, not quite giant-sized, but they emerge going up and then crisscrossing and then going back up and around before you can see about 100, close to 150 feet up. There are two spaces that allow for this dark glow to kind of come down. You can see there's a much larger room beyond. You see more of this red, yellow sandstone. And even from this distance, you can smell blood. Oakfeld. Make an intelligence saving throw.
How we start off the
Always.
Watch I get like a natural 20 on this.
Ooh, not bad.
16.
That sounded like a good roll.
It hit like a little metal thing.
Yeah, it was a nice
Yeah, I
one.
have like random objects in my tray.
I know.
This is random things I found.
So what was that roll?
16
Okay.
plus 0.
Okay.
Still
Total
pretty
of
good.
600.
You feel in the back of your mind these elongated fingers almost probing between the folds of your brain. And again, you can
Folds
hear
plural.
Oakfeld. You have a choice. You know what you must do.
No. He's gonna like frantically look through the pages of the books that he's writing.
But all these pages, it must mean for something it can't be.
Are you saying this out loud?
Yeah, he
I'm
always talks.
smacking you, not in like a hurtful way, but like a snap out of it. We literally just told you that this guy is gonna try to fucking manipulate you.
It was like 30 in-game seconds ago.
You take 0.75 bludgeoning damage, and because D&D always rounds down, goes to 0.
And I'm like, just don't listen.
I know you told me.
Read your book. Read your book. Don't listen. You need to focus right now.
But I just don't know where the cycle begins and where it ends.
It doesn't matter.
This elf doesn't know. He is one who works in metal, and you know he doesn't care for nature. Break his body and use his blood to grow new life.
But no, I cannot. I've grown so much with these friends of mine, and no, the answer must be in the book.
Flip through the etiquette book, yeah, no problem.
Brenna's gonna
/
I know.
Oakfeld journey.
Oakfeldicate.
Yeah, Oakfeld.
When you have a textbook and somebody starts scrawling in the margins, it doesn't change the title of the book. It's still,
No, he's changed the title of the book.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's Brenna.
Brenna's going to look at Akka and just be like, "You go. That's you go. We'll be right behind you." And then she's gonna like put her hand on his hand that's flipping the pages and just be like, "Stop." And she's gonna be like, "You know what you have to do. We're gonna go finish this so we can protect our friends, right?" And she's gonna take his hand and she's just gonna walk forward.
Sure.
She's gonna do that, in restraint training, the one where you arm around the shoulders and then the other arm like. Brenna's had
supportive
some.
guide.
Yeah, supportive guide. She's gonna supportive guide him, and she's gonna be hovering while she does it so that she can get his shoulders.
No problem.
Know what I have to do. Oh, yes.
And he's gonna like swoop his arm around to reach back for the book, and he's going to start writing a little. Imagine he like writes with like a flower, like the pigment of a flower or something like that.
Phenomenal, yeah. It is like a little flower that has almost like a little slit down the stem, and so the pollen almost runs into the sap and then becomes ink, and then you kind of scrawl. It looks very messy. It's like a child's handwriting.
Yeah.
Are you letting Brenna walk you while you're doing this?
Yeah.
Nice.
For those of you who want to try and survive this, we should figure out a plan. As best we can, knowing that he's already reading at least a couple of your...
I don't think any of our plans have ever worked.
No, I know, but...
I assume the plan was just to go in and smash. Right? That's my plan.
He's already
She's right. It
affecting
has
us
worked very
mentally.
well for us so far.
Just... I'm gonna have to do what has to happen, even if you can't control yourselves.
I think we all understand that already.
Okay.
In the back of your mind,
Really, don't worry about him.
you hear, Eleanor, make an intelligence saving throw.
Oh
please.
no, I have the same
It's like
stats
the
as
second
Oakville.
time that Dice Trees has gotten bored inside Oakville's head.
You definitely roll better.
No, he won't.
There's just so much space in there.
You think that you could just kick back and
It's hollow
relax.
wood.
Oakville,
Just a big wooden room.
he's not gone. You don't feel the relief that you always feel in the back of your mind. The pressure lessens. Eleanor, you feel this pressure increase. It's like at the back of your mind, there is something that you forgot, and it pulls at you and pulls at you. And then you hear, Eleanor,
Ah, fuck.
you owe these people nothing. They have brought ruin all around you. Do you really believe this will save anyone?
Oh god. Okay. We need to go. We need to go now.
I'm already moving.
Okay.
I'm aware that there might be some traps on this flight up. But like also probably like he knows we're coming. Like he wouldn't trap this because at this point he's he's gonna fuck our day.
So you're just flying straight up to the kind of holes? that
Not
you see?
flying up. I'm following the steps.
Gotcha.
Because I don't like those dark pools of ominous light stuff that you were talking about. Didn't sound nice.
Less.
I like
Less
it.
dark pools of ominous light, and more that it seems like there might be a fire lit somewhere over top,
Okay.
and the room is so large it looks darker than the lit
Because it's like
interior here.
creating a shadow.
Yeah.
Okay.
As Oakfeld is
Yeah.
writing,
Aware of traps flying
he's
up.
writing in the book. He's writing on the last page where it's just the picture of the acorn, and it's like embellished, and there's like little small acorns around the one main acorn.
Yeah.
And the page right next to it is the one he's writing next to it. And he's narrating basically what's happening right now. And the one thing he's stopping in his mind that's like having like the writer's block is how to complete the cycle.
You wish to complete the cycle, Oakfeld.
I do.
What must happen for something new to live?
Something must die.
I have such fertile fields up here. Come, plant the seed. Water it with your friends. Come.
And he's gonna look in the book. He's gonna put his hand in his pocket, and he's gonna just feel the warmth of the acorn, the one acorn that could be any of the number of acorns in his pocket.
Okay.
Eleanor's just gonna go up the stairs, and she's gonna, as she's going, she's also gonna be like looking for like glyphs.
Yeah, make an investigation check.
12.
You've had bad experiences before, and so you keep your eyes trained down, but it's hard because this is an angular structure, and as you walk, it does put you a little bit at a tilt, and you do need to continue to like turn and look. It's hard to really pay close attention, and so here and there you do find yourself stumble a little bit, but nothing explodes. So Akka is going up, Eleanor's going up. Oakfeld, are you being escorted up? Okay. So one by one, you make your way up these stairs, getting closer and closer. Oakfeld, you feel this pressure relieve in your mind. And Eleanor, right around the mark where you see this opening about 30 feet up, you can see there's like a stone walkway and some walls that seem to like disappear and the glow comes from beyond. You feel that pressure seem to almost intensify and then just release. And for all of you that have felt this presence, it seems like you're once alone again. Although, up above, you can hear, ever so slightly, the sound of maybe bone on bone, muscle on muscle. Maybe.
I'm continuing up, girding myself for this battle.
Sure.
Bringing out my echo form preemptively, even though I'm like, well, yeah, no, I'm doing it.
No problem.
I'm gonna use bolstering magic on myself while we
No
walk.
problem.
And I'm going ahead a little bit, but, keeping pace so that I'm not like... I'm assuming that there's going to be a door that we have to go through when we get to the top. So, can I see, like, all the way to the top at this point? Or
No, so the way that it looks, there's a stone walkway 10 feet wide that goes through, and then it kind of, the walls narrow, and there is maybe more of a space, and then perhaps a larger room beyond. Who knows?
Okay.
But right now, all you can really see is a faint glow coming from where you're going up to the right, and then that space, the larger space, is off to the left.
And this is all up this swirly flight of stairs?
Yeah, so swirly flight of stairs, and they lead like this. They end coming opposite, and then it's like you walk up either way to the next floor.
Gotcha.
Going in this direction will bring you into a larger space.
Okay.
And back here, it seems like there's not as much of this kind of feeling that suggests voluminous sort of space beyond, and there's a faint glow as well.
Cautiously going to see what that glow is coming from before going the other way.
Make a perception check.
I think Eleanor's just gonna.
Okay.
No, I think she's gonna just stop and try to figure out if she can actually hear dead or if it's just her mind like starting to.
Make a perception check, yeah.
How wide and tall the room we're walking in, or area we're walking in?
The one that you can see seems to be about 20 feet tall on the ceiling. It's a pretty large space.
Okay.
21.
21. With a 21, you angle yourself around. What'd you get?
10.
10. Okay. Akka, the cloak gets right in your face and you can't see anything. But Akka, from your vantage point, as you turn, you can see that glow is coming from something that you've seen before. Almost metallic on the outside, a huge salt crystal that seems to be faintly glowing within. You remember being nearby one of these when it was within Keeper Zera's range. It was quite painful. But this seems to be relatively inert, at least currently.
Can I destroy it without causing it to do a fucking of?
Make an Arcana check.
A fucking.
Yeah.
Does anybody else?
I don't want to
anything else?
try and
I-
destroy it and
around.
cause it to fucking explode or something.
Do I know anything that might help him based on my history with Keeper Zera?
Make a Arcana check at advantage.
Should I add my?
No.
Okay.
What is yours?
Mine is, I'm looking for Arcana. Oh. Okay, that's a 31.
Yeah.
I got a 10.
Okay. So, Brenna, you pop your head around Akka's shoulder and you go, "That's salt." And, yes, that is true. Looking at this, there is nothing enchanted
Thanks.
about it. You know that this magical crystal has the ability to amplify magic. it seems like it's probably there to do just that. The current function of it, with that roll, it seems like this might be used almost like a mirror to bounce spells. So that would suggest to you, down this very narrow hallway, there's probably somebody looking right at it.
Yeah.
Push it over.
Eleanor's just gonna physically move away from all of this because she did an intelligence check at disadvantage for herself to be like, I don't like what's happening, it's gonna explode, I'm moving away.
Yeah, take a couple more steps back down the stairs.
Can I look back and try to see, like, if it were to mirror, like, a spell and bounce it off? What is it going to the other, like, down where the other
You're trying to
staircase
peek down that
goes?
corridor?
Keeping in mind that this thing is there, and presumably
Make a
once
stealth check.
I'm visible,
Make a stealth check.
trying not to be.
You had a 31 for perception, so we'll hold on to that. This is really about whether we're rolling for initiative or not.
Right.
Oh no.
As
Natural 20!
Woo! Would you like a little visual?
I would like a little visual.
Can
Thank
you move
you.
everything off the table?
No.
The emotional support
like,
becomes
Everything, like, this is the biggest fucking thing that we're gonna see.
It's pretty large.
Okay.
I don't know if it's the biggest. It might be the biggest one I've ever made.
There's more.
I don't know why they put that on my
keep
dice.
Shay.
Sometimes
that's
when there's
yeah,
stuff on
No,
the
it's okay.
table,
I'll have an emotional support.
Yeah.
I'll just keep all the emotional support.
Shay's mini is our emotional support mini.
Yeah. She'll guard and protect this
Can you
side of the table.
help him?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I don't like how that looks.
Oh God,
I don't like that.
folks, this is
Yeah.
unpleasant.
That's a lot. Ooh, that's a lot.
Yep. Oh, boy.
That's mine.
Oh, it's so nicely centered on the camera already. Look at
Wow.
Absolutely not.
jeez.
I hate this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are coming up on the side that is closest to you. The stairs are the blank space. Yeah. No.
So
there's a space where there's no tiles.
Yeah.
And that represents where the stairs are coming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
And
Is there
so
one on
you're-
this side?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna
And then
assume
Aka,
I'm,
you would be on the
right here.
opposite side of where Eleanor is, but on the but the
Here.
other side. Yeah.
Here.
Perfect.
So the
These stairs
mirror.
come up opposite ways.
Oh, so is
Oh, okay.
this the?
Yes.
This is the crystal.
Yes, that is the crystal. Is the crystal.
Okay.
So I came up behind Aka. Where's Oakville? Where are you at?
I'm
I,
next to Steel Magnolia.
Aka, as you look
Wait,
down
what?
this little
Which
corridor,
one?
I will gladly be Steel Magnolia.
you can see there are more of these jagged purple crystals that you know are filled with this concentrated poison. Eleanor, you know very well that these are filled with concentrated poison. Additionally, you can see elements of these crystal salt structures that are jagged and erupt out of the ground in various places. You can see directly in front of you, there is a well of sorts that has been carved from the stone itself, and it leads up to a statue of some kind of figure. And in fact, you've seen a beholder's skull. Morwen had one. It looks very similar to that. Behind this, very distant, in the dim glow here, you see a Mindflayer. Zeistries, and you can just see these inhuman black eyes peering over the statue back at you. And thinking about this crystal, he can probably shoot something that is in front of that. You probably can't hide from him behind the statue.
Right. Okay.
You see a variety of crates, various things that have been gathered over on the platform that he is on. You can see tables that are piled with gold. You can see there is these huge mushrooms that have erupted from the ground here and there, growing on patches of skin-like lichen, and that is what you see.
Putting my hands up to keep people from like.
As I'm like writing the book, and I turn to White Magnolia and Needlewise.
I don't know what to do.
And I'm gonna reach into my pocket and take out the acorns.
I've been here.
Can you turn the camera so that Dan is on screen? Just because Dan doesn't like
I'm
to
so
do that.
lost.
I'm in the spot.
You're a wanderer.
Perfect.
There
Get
we
comfy.
The tape's right here.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Okay.
Scooch
Wait, so
over a
are
little
we
more.
on the same side then? I feel like that's
Yes.
important.
He's going to reach out and take the acorns from his hand.
But
Okay, all right, sorry.
Housekeeping.
I was given a task by Malora herself to plant this acorn somewhere. It must be a location, I thought. But I'm not so sure. I thought it would be for maybe I'm not sure. Maybe for
Can I hit him through the crystal?
Are you doing that?
No, I'm trying to see, like, can I... Basically lining up my shot, if I could, use the crystal in the way that I think it
So
would
you were doing
function,
math.
essentially.
Make a flat intelligence check.
is this the location? Is this?
Yeah,
It's a location, bud. Yep, this is a location.
The big like pool of like
Another natural 20!
wow, the big pool
Math
like
check.
of the beholder's skull.
Is this where I have to Malora?
You listen, but there is no answer. Aka, with that check, you imagine for an angle to work, there needs to be two lines that lead to the intersecting point. You can't see him, and so it would be very hard. It's kind of a shot in the dark, but would it work? Yeah, probably.
Okay.
And he's gonna turn with his book. He's gonna take his book out.
Here was White Magnolia. If something happens, I would like you to return this book to the Feywild, the everlasting, eternal core.
What is it?
The mountain of eternal harvest.
Eternal harvest.
Everlasting
everlasting
harvest.
harvest. Yes.
of the everlasting harvest. Give this to my people, so they may learn what I know. That is not about what is your physical appearance, but what is inside.
Oakfeld. She's gonna kind of reach out and like kind of close his hand around the acorns and just be like, I keep these by your heart, and when the time comes, you'll know what to do. Malora trusted you with this. She trusted you for good reason. You'll know when it's time. And we'll do everything we can to make sure that you are the one to teach your people about what you have learned. But
Way
we
more
will-
dignified than what Brenna was gonna say.
we will honor your wishes regardless.
He's going to give the book to White Magnolia.
That means everything to me. I haven't finished the last page, but if you were able to,
And he's going to show the page with
Yeah.
the last acorn.
Can I read it? Is it like legible?
Right on.
Yeah, like
So, like, you asking that, Oakfeld would be like, "Of course it is. I wrote it myself." But it's hard to read. Yes, in the dim light here, very difficult. But you imagine with like a light, like a good light source and some time and a little less stress. Yeah, you could probably read it.
Can I make out the bit about the cycle?
Yeah.
Okay. She kind of looks at it and goes like, Oakfeld, the point of a cycle that it has no beginning and no end. We just are within it, and it continues forever.
so what you're saying is it doesn't need to be a location that it goes into, and it doesn't have to go into a person or one thing.
Right. Yes.
It has to go into everything.
Yes.
having finished my math, I'm looking over to try and get their attention because I want to do a thing.
Yeah.
And then I'm just staring daggers as like I just look over and they're kind of like
We're having like a really intense emotional moment over
yeah,
here.
it's like the two of you are like and I just see Oakfeld being like blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Does Brenna notice the staring daggers?
There's a moment where you're like looking at him, and then Oakfeld turns his head, and you just see like Akka glare.
Just like Oakfeld.
Like,
Okay, time to focus, bud. Okay, and I like finish tucking the book away.
Yeah, like Eleanor will take the book and like put it with the rest of her objects. And like seeing the baseball hand signal, she'll also like look and be like,
I don't know what this
"Oh, Bill,
is. But Brenna's like,
me.
you don't have message.
I think it's time for us to do what we came here for. Okay.
Oh, I have message.
This whole time.
Amazing.
And Oakfeld just gonna keep repeating.
Not gonna risk the verbal component.
Everything. But how?
Yeah, who would be talking right now?
Yeah.
I trust you. And she's kind of just like gonna grip
And then Brenna's gonna be
Elfield's
like,
shoulders
trying, bud.
and then lean against the wall and bonus action hide. Okay, that's fine. For fucking 27.
27. It's still pretty good.
It's my minimum amount.
After I'm like I'm going to I believe, let me just double check. Yeah, I want to cast haste on myself
Okay.
as discreetly as I can given my previous hiding check.
Sure. Yeah, no, absolutely. I will tell you, that is the only reason combat has not started at this
Yeah. And given my mathematics that I just performed, I would like to try and use an optimal direction to get as far in as I can while, trying to catch him by surprise as much as possible, given that I know as soon as, he's gonna know that we're here. He can probably tell that they're already all there, but he probably doesn't know where I am because he can't read my thoughts. Maybe that's sort of what Akka is
We're like, yeah,
trying to
that
math
makes
out. So
Like the math meme.
trying to avoid the angles by which I would be vulnerable to this crystal, and trying to get to him as
So
much as
what I will say is, you can tell, turning and looking, there's a doorway that leads to this little corridor that goes off to either side. One of those probably would be a good bet, because anything in front of this, and you remember when Oakfeld threw the beholder down the hall, it created a corridor that was really hard to operate in.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to not be in a corridor, anywhere down that center path, it's not going to cut it.
down this center path.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Can I make my way around here without being seen because of this pillar and sneaking?
Yeah.
Okay.
You'd
Let's
imagine.
go all the way to the
They
ceiling.
do.
Then I'm making my way around this way
Okay.
until I.
You and Eleanor can get up to the room, up into the door, with your current stealth checks.
Okay. Then I'm getting up to here.
I think Brenna would probably try to do a stealth
Make a
as well.
stealth check as well.
Eleanor saw Akka go around that way, so she's gonna be like, well, here we go. And we're gonna go around this way.
Rocky terrain, Joe?
I assume I
It
didn't
is
get this far.
technically rock, right?
No.
Okay.
I
don't like it this
want it to be, because these are stone floors, but it's not really rocky terrain in the way that that's meant.
It was worth a shot.
If we're
11. Sorry, everybody.
So, Eleanor, you creep around the other corner, and that's where you're going to wait?
So I was if I can get all the way over here, I will.
You can, yes.
I can, okay.
You can.
I wasn't sure how tightly we're gonna start getting into distances and stuff yet.
I mean, I'm going to be going this way with my crappy stealth check, so.
So, put yourself at the corner, Brenna. Akka, Eleanor, the two of you creep over to the end, After seeing this flurry of baseball signals from Akka, you wait at the door for a second, and then you see just for a moment his face like peek out, and both of you have this moment where you recognize you're in position. You both duck back out of sight. You're like, okay, this has gone better than any of our ambushes so far. And then you just hear, as Brenna turns the corner and the axe blade scrapes against the stone.
When I hear that,
Everybody.
I'm bolting.
That. And at this moment, you suddenly hear from within that pit, and I would have everybody roll for initiative.
So sorry, everybody.
Do not roll for initiative. You're going to start us off since you had prepared this this little mission.
Is initiative ability check? No, right?
It
It's
is,
just initiative.
it is not, no.
Right? Yeah. Okay, cool. No, terrible. No, it's fine. It's the middle of the road. I saw a 0 and I got really excited for a second before my brain processed the other half of the number.
Okay. Anybody natural 20? All right, 25 to 20.
20.
Nice. Okay. What is your dexterity modifier, Oakfield?
+3.
What is your raw dexterity?
Oh, sorry. It
No, you
is
answered
16.
right. 16. What is your movement speed, Oakfield?
Oh,
30.
Okay.
you tied.
You are similar to Zeistries in many ways.
Maybe that's why Zeiss just keeps targeting him.
Wait, so his,
like a dark
his int
mirror.
is also a 6?
Huh? Okay. Anybody 15 to 10?
Well, you skipped over the bracket that I was
Yeah,
in, but I
okay.
got a 16.
16. And then Akka, you're going to go first. So,
Cool.
give me one
I like
second here.
that.
And let me make the music a little more appropriate.
No.
Right.
Oh, you guys have a battle.
No.
I will say there is
So casually.
a distinct pleasure that I take when you really get Hannah. It is really fun.
No.
Matt has a special talent for doing it right before the camera. Like,
That's true.
it's
I was gonna say something about that.
You're the
It's
worst.
so unfair.
It's a honed
So
skill.
the way that this is going to work out,
Efficiency in it.
at initiative order 20, there is layer actions. However, Akka, you are going to lead us off, followed by Eleanor, then Zeistries, then Oakfeld, and then Brenna, with the lowest initiative being 16.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty good.
All right.
So, give me 1 second here. Okay.
How high is this ceiling?
So, Akka, as you burst into this room, here the ceilings do open up a little bit.
Okay.
And you can see there is perhaps close to 50 feet of space, give or take.
Yeah. Okay.
So, in this space, those pillars represent roughly where the ceiling is.
Okay. Cool. Hasted flying. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, so somewhere around here, we'll say. I am flying up there.
Okay.
I have sight on
Absolutely. As you
Oh,
fly
and
around the
this
corner
dude.
of this stone beholder's skull, and as you do, you can see from the eyes, it seems to be almost weeping blood. This blood a little bit congealed and coagulated, not running in hot liquid. This has been here for a while, but it still circulates around through this pool. But you fly around to the other side, and you can see almost completely reformed Zeistries. The skin, this very slick purple, no longer pale and almost see-through. You can see these dark eyes, powerful. And he looks at you. What are you doing?
So I have put my echo form right around here,
Okay, no problem.
and I am going to use my first action to vortex warp him,
Okay.
or to attempt to. We'll see if that works.
So what kind of save is that?
That is a con save.
Okay. That is a 19.
That meets it.
It's a pizza.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
Damn.
As you go by, you gesture forwards, and there is a burst of this calligraphy-like magic that swirls towards him, and you see he just waves a hand, and the magic dies in the air.
Hmm.
And you hear in your mind, "Foolish." You've tried this before. You died then. You'll die now.
Next, I am going to attempt to... Are those the mushrooms that when they explode, they fuck everything up?
It seems to be like a poisonous spore release, yes.
Okay. Probably doesn't affect him that much, so I'm going to... using my second action, attempt to shatter this motherfucker, I think. Let me I don't want to waste my spell yet.
Get him.
Tell me what you're gonna do.
Yeah,
Waste my final battle.
yeah, no, I think I'm gonna...
I might need these Omni
I have
potions
so many
for the
mass ethers in my bag.
Yeah, because... he's gonna have... Yeah, I'm gonna... Yeah.
I might need
I think I'm just gonna go ahead and hit him with a little shatter to start this off. So he needs to make another con save.
He does not.
Oh.
He reaches out, and as you cast Shatter, he's going to swipe the spell aside using Counterspell at 3rd level. Are you casting Shatter higher than that?
No.
Okay. So as you cast Shatter, again, the other hand swipes it aside, and you can see these little signs fall to the ground and become ash. And he turns his full attention towards you, and he says, "Do you wish to know what real spell casting looks like, Aka? Let me show you." Anything else for your turn, Aka?
Yeah, I'm gonna bonus action switch places
Very good.
Nice.
And suddenly there is just
to the position that I had put using my math was based on avoiding
yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
the
I got
crystals.
it.
Yeah.
I picked up on that. No,
Okay,
no
cool.
worries. Not to worry.
I'm gonna say, yeah, you're still in the fucking air. I don't know.
All set?
Get the fuck in there.
There we go. That is your turn. That brings us to initiative order 20 and the layer action.
And this disappears because I'm more than 30 feet away from it.
He did his job.
Oh no.
I don't think I should go find get a secret other thing.
What on earth could it?
I have so many other things back there.
That's
Aw.
a big box of minis,
It
everybody.
is. From within this pit, you hear the squelching get louder. And then you hear all of a sudden multiple voices. These shambling creatures of bone and muscle sinew begin to crawl out. And if you could place 2 each at the bottom of each set of stairs.
Ugh, ads.
The bottom of I dropped them.
These minis will all look very different, but they are all relatively the same. I'll let you know when you start seeing different things.
One at the bottom of each set of stairs. So one here.
Yes. Yeah, 2. Yeah, so 2 at the bottom of each set.
Can you move
There's
your
4.
emotional support?
On the layer action, these creatures crawl from the bone pit, almost assembling as they
Out of
fall
this.
down the stairs. Yeah. You can see still wet with blood. There are elements of flesh still attached in large sections. So these squelch across the floor. Let's see here. Aka, how high up are you?
I am about yay high.
Okay, so you're
Like
close
20,
to
25,
Okay.
30 feet.
No worries. So then they're all going to go, well, 2 are going to go towards Eleanor. If you could move them, I believe that's 30 feet.
Falling down the stairs.
So they technically appear at the bottom of the
Okay,
stairs. Yeah.
so 10.
Other way, down the corridor.
Oh, down this corridor.
Yes.
Okay.
No.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So Eleanor is not within 5 feet.
No worries. So move that into base contact. This creature runs, dashing forward.
It can't.
It can?
No, it's 5 feet away still. It's got 5 feet between.
Yeah, so it's going to use its action to move.
No, it's like 5 foot square, empty space, 5 foot square.
No, he can't.
Am I explaining this wrong?
I think.
No, I think-
I get what you're saying.
Wait.
Joe.
Okay,
Question.
yeah.
It's
Okay.
only over here.
I see. What you
Move.
mean.
Gotta let
30
him
feet.
finish his sentence.
Action. Move 5 more feet so that he can get within range.
Okay.
That is his turn.
Cool. Okay.
The other one's going to shuffle in right behind it.
Oh man.
Yes.
Didn't I go down this one?
I thought so,
Oh,
but,
no, I think I moved.
but it doesn't matter. You can just move the other two to the same spot.
You
It's
just
the same
pick her up
distance.
and move her.
I was
I went to a Shay and I
Those other two,
Shay's not here.
those other two undead are going to move towards Oakfeld and do the same thing.
So
Take their maximum movement. If they can get into range without attacking or without dashing, they will. But if they can't, they're dashing to get to
20,
Oakfeld.
25, 30, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Yep, so just move them right up there. Perfect. No problem. So these creatures just lumber over towards you, Eleanor, towards you, Oakfeld. Aka, you are currently out of range of these creatures, and Brenna, at the moment, they don't seem to be targeting you. That is the lair action. That brings us to Eleanor, followed by Zystris. Eleanor, these creatures right in your face now. You find yourself in a very narrow confines. What would you like to do?
All right, so first thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna stab this guy with my dagger.
Okay.
So I'm just a quick stab, just quick, gentle stabby stab. That's definitely going to miss. Let me just double check those numbers because it's. Oh, actually, no, maybe 18.
That's going to hit. Absolutely, that hits.
Nice. I keep forgetting how I can like hit things real good. Everyone just shush. 8.
8. Okay, so you like flash this dagger forwards as this creature runs forwards and it slashes across the throat. The voice goes quiet and the head rips back like a Pez dispenser before just coming right back around. Still up, but hurt. What are you doing?
Hate it. Gonna back up.
Okay,
Fine.
you back up. It is unable to swipe at you as you duck underneath as it reaches, using fancy footwork to maneuver out of the way.
30. And then I'm gonna activate the rapier and send that into the guy.
Sure.
So like,
Make your attack roll. As you stumble backwards, you almost like pull this rapier out and fall, flinging it forwards. You have to roll back and end up on your feet using your momentum to kind of catch yourself in the corner. But what is your attack roll?
29.
That definitely hits.
All right, so that's just gonna be not great, but not terrible. 9. 9.
The rapier flies down the hallway and it goes straight into this creature, almost ripping flesh away. And so inconsistent is this that it seems to almost not pause the momentum and it just continues to go towards you. But less and less of its flesh remains. Anything else, Eleanor?
Brenna.
No problem. That brings us to Zystris.
I'm sorry.
So, Zystris, you can see Aka from where you are. Right as the words kind of die and you begin to echo away, you can hear he says, "Let me show you what real spell casting is." Oakfeld,
I'd rather him not.
make an intelligence saving throw.
Oh no!
Didn't we have a thing specifically
You don't
for
give me the
this?
Yakadai.
We lost a
No,
little piece of
no
paper,
fucking
okay?
way, dude. This thing's been rolling like
Here, this is the one that was
beautiful.
lucky last time.
Oh my god.
Okay, yeah, that's a good call. That's a good call.
You asked me that?
I
18!
section.
Woo!
That
This is
is-
the new Akadai!
Is that,
You're welcome.
is that the total roll?
Oh, plus, yeah, because that was your intelligence.
That is a failure.
Intelligence saving.
What?
So,
Yeah, dude.
it's almost like
all
it's a
of a
mind
sudden,
flayer.
in the back of your mind, you feel not creeping fingers, but a tear. As the lobes of your brain are almost split, and you can feel an entity force its way in. This is not gentle. This is not prying. This is breaking and entering into your mind. And you suddenly hear, "Oakfeld, I tried to be reasonable, but now you will do what I say." You cast Dominate Monster on you.
No.
And Oakfeld, you are considered charmed. So go ahead and
not a monster.
take this.
Oh man!
Luckily, Dominate Monster works on a creature. This creature, Zystris now has a telepathic link for you, and he can issue you commands on your turn.
Yeah.
That does, he can use your reactions as well, although that does burn his reaction. And what he tells you using this spell is, "Kill your friends." And as you look across the battlefield, suddenly you almost see these caricatures of the people you once knew. Wicked, very barbaric looking individuals. and they all look like the creatures that would come out from the material plane and into the Feywild to harm it. The whole reason that you're not supposed to help human beings is because of what they do. And look at them, destroying even now. For what it's worth. That is his action. He is going to...
I was so close to rolling better than him. I mean, an initiative. And then, he had better
And then you
speed than
weren't.
me or something. I don't know.
And
What
then you weren't.
And that's all he's going to do. But as the end of his
Hear than me? I
turn,
don't know.
that brings
might
us
have
to
better than you.
Oakfeld. Oakfeld, you hear the words echoing in your mind. Kill your friends. What are you going to do?
Guess I'm gonna go kill my friends.
The question is, does Oakfield believe that any of us are his friends? Akka specifically.
No, of course he does. Mechanically, there's nothing I can do.
So, Give me 1 second here. If the creature completes the order and doesn't receive further direction from you, it defends and preserves itself to the best of the ability. You have to do your best to obey.
Okay.
You can't melee mouth it.
For what it's worth, all of you have observed this effect before, and you do know that causing damage to a creature that is charmed in this way does break the charm. It's hard with the Mindflayer. That being said, what are you doing, Oakfeld? You see these enemies everywhere.
If I hurt myself, would that count too?
It said friends. And one other thing that this creature can do, and what I think it will do, and the reason why it held its other action, is it's going to use its other action to take precise control of you, because you're taking a long time.
Ah, okay. I had a plan.
I'm gonna vomit.
So you watch as all of a sudden
I had a
this
plan,
creature
but okay.
closes its eyes, and Oakfeld, in your mind, you hear, "Fine, I'll do it." And all of a sudden, Oakfeld, you feel pain as your skin tears, as you are forced to turn into a tree. Go ahead, become Big Oakfeld. And how many attacks do you get against? Would you get against Brenna?
I'm
Over here. What do you say?
Oh, sorry. I thought Brenna. I thought you were like carrying
I'm in
him
the
up.
corner.
No worries. All right,
Maybe
you
stop in
stomp
the
right
corner.
over to Akka.
No.
Absolutely.
Worse. That's so much
Way
worse.
better. Way better for me.
Thanks.
And how many attacks do you get?
Sorry, bud.
2.
Okay, make your attacks against Akka.
Hey, he's like super hasted and fast, Akka boy.
Yeah.
You better roll like shit.
You step forward, and as you become a tree, you almost can't believe what you're doing. But then as you look at Akka, you can see he flies high above the battlefield. You've seen him rain magic down before. And
You
you
piece
see
of shit.
no longer skeletons or undead. These are dryads. These are tree spirits that are running away from these individuals that you've helped kill creatures before. And you know that they're here to harm nature. So you reach out. What was the attack roll?
29.
Nice. You hit the shit out of Akka.
Yeah.
Go ahead, roll damage on that.
I like the subplot of Akka just being harassed by trees.
Yeah. Unintended consequence.
True big bad.
He dishes it back, so I
Only the one time, and it was by accident.
Yeah, technically.
mean. 6, 10.
And I atoned for that.
Oh,
I was there when you atoned. That was my first
That's a
episode.
12. That's like maximum, almost maximum damage.
I love it. How much damage is that?
George Washington
total?
over here. I chopped down a
Yes.
cherry
Okay.
tree.
So that's 12,
The rest
12
of my life,
bludgeoning
it sticks
damage
with me.
or piercing damage, sorry, to you, Akka.
12?
Yep.
Yeah.
You.
Go ahead and make your second attack.
You big stinky.
Oh,
Are you
that's a
fucking-
19 again?
Amazing. Roll damage again.
You piece of shit. Now you roll good.
It'll need to be a little bit nicer, Oakfeld. It was been never.
Maybe if you grew a
Devastating.
Oh my god,
brain.
6 again!
Amazing.
It's the exact same roll.
12 more points of damage as you are slammed by this
Oh my God.
massive
Roll the
tree
same
creature. You were
You're
so
literally
frustrated
killing
before
me.
you were glaring
You're literally
daggers
killing me.
at Oakfeld, and then all of a sudden Oakfeld turns, becomes a tree, and starts pummeling
Oh,
you
plus
in the
4,
air.
so 10.
Nice.
But that was. I can't believe I rolled the exact same, a 19 and a 6
Oh
again.
my god.
Oakfeld, That is your movement. That is your action, bonus action. That is your turn.
Can I say anything?
Go ahead and make your... no, you cannot. But go ahead and make your save. No.
Fuck, I had a plan.
It's almost like your plan.
Awesome.
Now you roll poorly.
Hey, what is modifier? That's not even a matter.
It's useless to resist, Oakfell. Just give in. Let me save you. But that is your turn. At the end of your turn...
Would Oakfell be able to at least, in his hand, hold the acorn and just rub it?
No. And in fact, at the end of your turn,
Throws the acorn down.
Stomps it.
Smashes it.
Zeistries is going to use two of his legendary actions, actually, in order to do this. And he is going to suddenly burst into your consciousness, and you feel your branches reach out, and you watch as the wood and the grass and the lichen blackens and dies, as through you he casts Paralyzing Touch on Akka. Akka, if you can go ahead and make for me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Is it? It's against a spell or a magical effect.
This is a magical effect. Yes.
Okay.
It's a spell. No, sorry, it's a spell attack.
Okay. So cool. I have advantage. Oh, 29.
That is a success.
Thank God.
So. This is one of those things where as Oakfell reaches out, you suddenly see the branches blacken and beginning to crumble, and you can tell there is more to this than just Oakfell going to hit you. And so this time, you do everything in your power to dodge out of the way in your hasted action.
Blindsided.
As he reaches and swipes over top, he misses. But as he does, you can feel the air almost shatter around, and you imagine this would have done something horrible to your nervous system. But it doesn't.
Cool. I'm glad.
That is the end of Oakfell's turn. That brings us to Brenna. Brenna, what do you want to do? And after the... Akka, you're on deck.
All right, so let's... sorry. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so I'm gonna move up here and then go into rage.
So you hear Eleanor just go, Brenna, 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 and you jar forwards. No problem.
Did I just hear Oakfell try to murder someone? Damn it.
We just hear crashing from the other room.
All right. I gain +1 to AC. Thank you very much.
Nice.
Wild magic.
Nice.
All right. Let me just check. All right, it worked. And I'm gonna just hit the guy in front of me.
Yeah, make your attack roll. You can see there is flesh hanging away from this undead creature. It's already pretty badly hurt. But yeah, go ahead and make your attack roll.
Dirty 20 plus 13. 33.
33. Let's go ahead and roll damage.
Nice.
33.
Thank you, new dice.
There's something so satisfying about breaking 30.
Yeah.
So good. 17 damage.
So as you dart forwards, you can see the rapier returning. It barely made a dent. You see the area where the spine connects the legs to the upper torso, and you swing your massive axe and just cleave this creature in two. It goes from just and just hits the ground in two halves, dead.
Nice. So I have 5 more feet of movement. Can I move 1 more square onto the space that the now dead body is? Or
You absolutely can,
okay,
yeah.
so I do that, and so that I can see what's going on over there, and then shoot, so far away. I guess I'm gonna for my extra attack. Can you do an extra attack with a different weapon than the one that you did your first attack with?
If you're currently already holding it, you can.
I am definitely not holding the
Yeah.
javelin, so all right, I guess I'm just gonna attack the other one then. That's
Go for it, yeah.
next to me. 27 to hit.
27 hits.
I have a trump card.
Hell yeah.
If you're gonna have
for
one, now is the time.
13 damage.
It's like a. This is literally.
So you
the last
eviscerate
resort
this
kind of
first zombie, cutting it straight in half, and as you move through the body, this gout of blood staining your clothes, and you're like, oh, I have to prestidigitate that later.
Don't forget.
Use the momentum and swing all the way around your body and just cleave straight into the shoulder. You splinter bone, muscle, skin, all the way down until your axe lodges in the sternum, and then you pull it away. The arm kind of draws down, still up but badly hurt as the second creature.
Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to do on my turn is I'm going to yell as loud as I can, Oakfeld! Over here! Or whatever, just to try to get his attention away from Akka.
Sure. Oakfeld, you hear nothing. That is your turn. That brings us to the top of the round. Akka, you're on deck because you're going before the lair actions.
Oh boy. I'm on deck, or I'm.
No, sorry, you're going right now.
Okay, cool.
Lair is
okay.
on deck.
So.
Get ready, Lair.
I gotta find a picture of Richard Carr to start praying. Here he is.
Cool.
Good.
I'm going to move up to here.
Okay.
Appropriate.
Bonus at
Fine. Yeah, gotcha.
flying. And away from the range of all the crystals and mushrooms.
It
and
just came to me that he's praying to Richard Caron right now. that I'm really struggling not to laugh.
You're doing great.
Echo form.
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo-ba-doo-ba-boo. And I'm just gonna start wailing on him because if he wants to show me a bunch of cool magic, I'm gonna show him a bunch of cool stabs.
Yeah, sounds good.
What if Laura just shows up to Oakfeld?
It's Tim Allen.
Yeah, it's just like a reflection.
So first attack is gonna be where's my math? Dirty 20?
Great spell.
Dirty 20. That just hits.
Yes. Okay. Extra attack, second attack of that is going to be a 24.
Okay.
So the first hit. So that's going to be 23 points of magical pierces.
Okay.
And then next attack with my second haste action. Ooh, that's gonna be it hits. It's a 19 plus whatever. 32.
32, yeah, that is.
And that's another 10 points of piercing damage.
Not bad.
That's my 2 actions, my movement, my bonus action. That is it for me.
Phenomenal. There you are, hasted, a blur of motion. You carve again and again at Zystris using your shadow form or using your self?
Echo form.
Echo form, sorry. Using your echo form. You can see he swats at this, but as he brushes through, it's like smoke that moves around, and he's unable to grab onto this creature. But that is your turn?
Yep.
Alrighty. That brings us to the lair.
More zombies. Why don't you just bring like a big box of all your shit over here?
He brought
he
out a
knows-
small box.
Dump
He
them all
knows
in the
that it
table.
hurts us when he gets up and disappears behind the
It
curtain.
really, it's like
different things.
there's the psychological
Some
torture
are
of
larger
this
than others,
and the
but you recognize
psychological.
these.
Fucking mushroom man.
Oh man.
If you could put one on the side over by Brenna, and then the 2 other ones are going to drop down at the bottom of these stairs.
Looks like Oakfeld's going to survive this battle.
And
He's just gonna be evil.
He's gonna turn up
15, 20, 25,
as the
30.
big bad of campaign.
So if you could put those
Just
right
like
on either side of
not
the
even a
rotting
mini
and
boss.
mushroom-filled Oakfeld.
On this side right here,
Yeah, one on that side and one a little closer to Zystris, if you can.
over here.
These creatures
That'll be horrible.
pull themselves out of the well, and you see it looks like 3 huge mushrooms just emerge, and then these shepherds of rot crawl out. And as they do, the other creatures nearby, and Brenna, you being really close to one, you watch as it seems like the skin begins to become darkened and even harder and more. They seem to be bolstered by the presence of these creatures. That is the layer action. That brings us to Eleanor.
Oh my god,
What
that's
do you want to do? And that brings us to Zystris after that.
So seeing that Brenna successfully murdered one, And I'm gonna move back up a little bit. So if I'm guessing that's roughly squares. That feels like it's roughly squares.
You're like backpedaling, and all of a sudden Brenna like almost knocks you over, going straight by your shoulder, and then the skeleton that's about to grab you is just severed in half. And Brenna explodes through the gore and just opens up into the hallway, and you have daylight. You can go.
Yep.
I got you.
So can I can see both of the creatures?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna throw a dagger at the close guy,
Okay.
and then see how these goes. All right. Hopefully, dirty 20.
A dirty 20. That's a hit.
Okay.
We take those. We take those.
8 damage,
Okay.
and then I'm going to,
That's the one that's already hurt, right?
Yep.
Okay.
and then I'm gonna send my rapier against the mushroom guy.
Okay.
And would this be a sneak attack? 'Cause he doesn't know I'm here.
So technically, I believe the first one would have been a sneak attack because you are proficient in it. Brenna, you have
Oh, right, is the
So actually, roll sneak attack damage for that as you throw it at the skeleton.
I was like, it knows I'm here. It's not a sneaky, and I just forgot that.
You
Brenna's just
really don't
fucking
have to
standing
roll.
there.
It has 6 health points left. So
Yeah, it's unless I roll. No, it's impossible for me not to feel this thing.
So at your current level, as you throw this dagger, it's almost like it's just a normal dagger, but it hits right at the base of the chin, and it seems to almost bounce within the skeletal parts of the throat and the ribs, and it tears it apart from the inside. And you watch as it just down, and as it hits the ground, your dagger just right through the back. You can still see the blade.
Nice. Does a 16 hit the other guy?
16 just misses, unfortunately.
Crap. Okay, so that was action and bonus action, and then I'm going to hold my position here,
Okay.
and that is it.
There you go. That is Eleanor's turn. That brings us back to Zystris. So,
Focus all his attacks on my echo form because he's confused. And he's like, get out of here. Wait, what?
I've never heard of echo forms.
He definitely hasn't been just sneaking on us
You
this whole
watch.
time.
What sorcery is
as
this?
he swipes at your shadow as it tries to attack him, it displaces
Succeeds in attacking him.
like smoke, and you can see the eyes glare through this haze at you. And he is going to gesture, and as he does, it's like the arm grows longer and blacker, and then all of a sudden it becomes just a single finger that erupts across the room. If you can do me a favor, make a Constitution saving throw, please.
This is not
At least you're good at
Kansas.
these.
Yeah, that's true.
Spell that's like bad finger or whatever.
Natural 20!
Yay!
There you go.
Like 3.
It's like a
I
bad
know
finger
this
spell.
fucking
It's like a
thing
one.
right now. That's why I can't give
I
it.
forget what it's called.
Death touch or death ward?
I think it's
Death or
finger
something.
death, yeah.
You take 55
I'm just like- I was like,
necrotic
dude.
damage, halved
Finger.
to 27.
Oof.
Ah.
Oh my god.
As this finger of death erupts towards you, you almost have to, like, Matrix style, dodge out of the way. And this necrotic energy ripples across. Elements of your hair right along your forehead just, like, blacken and burn. Unhurt, still relatively hurt are you, but not the full amount of damage.
Okay.
He pulls his arm back. That is going to be That is going to be Zystris' turn. That is going to bring us to Oakfeld.
But also,
Oakfeld.
like,
You turn your gaze, and currently closest to you, I would say, probably Brenna.
Me?
So you wheel around. Using your movement, you're going to lumber over. And go ahead and take your 2 attacks against Brenna.
I'm just gonna put him up here for now.
Is that where we're gonna put him?
Well, there's so many.
Oakfeld, are you currently a large or a huge creature?
I believe I am just large.
Okay, no worries.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's whatever's I
It was large, huge. He could give it a huge.
Yeah.
That's 18 plus 10, 28.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to hit.
Yeah, I've been rolling really, really good against
Can
these
you
guys.
stop using that one for
He's
when
so
you
excited.
want to
Yeah,
roll?
Yeah, give me back my die.
See, this is why you don't give them to him.
I didn't know that.
He sucks the good juices out.
7,
Leaves you with empty husks.
11, 12.
I mean, he's never touching my beautiful new dice.
11, 16.
That's
16 points of damage, Brenna. And then go ahead and make your second attack.
Where's like my worst dice?
That's just regular damage, right?
Yes.
So have to
I think it's magical piercing.
Here, I'm gonna give you.
No,
like,
Olive has my gold dice.
Oakfeld.
Is it magical or not magical?
Oh, very
That's
nice.
good.
Correct.
That's good.
I would like to use my reaction to roll on the
What was
wild
the what?
magic table.
24.
All right, well, hold on, because I took damage. I want to use my reaction to
Go
roll.
for it. Do it, do it, do it.
A bolt of light shoots from my chest. So,
Nice.
fucker, you can make a con saving throw. DC
Oh.
18.
All right.
Is this blinded or is it deal damage?
Both.
Ooh, this might be great.
Nice.
That's a
Yes.
10.
Yes.
Okay.
You fail. You take.
And I get to roll
You
Constitution.
do. It's
You
it's
take-
an intelligence save, I believe.
Oh, yes.
No, it's con.
For
For that.
dominate
Oh,
monster,
sorry. Yeah. So you take 5 points of damage and you're blinded.
I like how Oakfield always just becomes a tree of status rings because he's such a target for people.
It's almost like making a huge
Oh, I can help
character
Yeah.
is
Just being a tree.
putting a target on your back.
Yeah.
I mean, he's great
All
at
right.
being a
So
damage.
those are your
Yeah,
attacks,
great for
Oakfeld.
kaiju battles.
Sorry,
You have this
so
burst of light that comes from your chest.
that was after the first attack,
Yeah.
so I don't know.
So Oakfeld, this second attack, take a disadvantage as you are blinded.
Nice.
For me attacking or her
Yes,
attacking
for
me?
you.
For you attacking her, she's not
I
attacking.
already rolled that.
I
It
used
was
my-
24. Are you not
You're
hearing
making
me?
a second attack
You're
because
making-
You have two
So
attacks.
in between your two
No, I-
attacks,
I
I
did-
blinded you.
Right.
I already rolled it then. It's 24.
Okay.
Yeah.
No worries.
I
Okay.
thought
So
you heard me.
we'll just roll one more d20 in case it's
Oh,
lower.
okay, so yeah, for the advantage.
Yeah.
It's 11, so yeah.
Okay. So what's the total?
Look at your modifier.
It's intelligence, you
Learn
said,
to
or
play.
constitution?
This is no. So we're going all the way
This
back
is-
to
Oh, my attack.
This is the second attack,
It'd
yeah.
be 21. So
Okay.
that hits.
Still hits. So okay, everything as it was.
Yeah,
no
sorry, I
worries.
was a little confused.
No worries. No worries. All
There's a
right.
lot happening.
So
This is
Oakfield,
what Aka feels like all
at
the
the end
time.
of your turn, you get to make a save.
Yeah, this is what I was looking forward to. Yes.
Make the save.
Let me just look at Richard Karn real quick.
Make the fucking save!
We all know it's a +0.
Give me the good one.
Just fucking roll!
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, this is how you got rid of all your luck. You just took it.
Gave
I
him a
watched
different
it.
die this time.
Yeah, and he
Fine.
took that out too.
You try to stray away,
you
but
died
it's
for the
almost
next
like you're
campaign,
trying to
fine.
look away from Brenna, and this iron grip yanks your face back. You still need to destroy her.
Only I had the Aka die.
So that is Oakfield's turn.
That's definitely what's preventing you from succeeding.
And you know what? I would say at the end of your turn, Zystrees is going to use 2 of his legendary actions to reach out through you. Unfortunately, this is going to be a disadvantage as technically he cannot see.
Yes.
Cool.
Thank you, Wild Magic Surge.
It's going to be close. Okay, go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
Me?
Yeah.
Fine. But I won't like it.
I will.
Oh no, 12.
Ooh, that is going to be a failure.
No.
So,
Oh boy. She's not going so hot.
Joe, what are you gonna do with the rest of this session
you
after
take 12 points of cold damage,
brutally murder us?
and
That's not so many.
you
And
feel the muscles in your body lock.
see this one.
And as this chill touch, or paralyzing touch, sorry, ripples across your body, you're paralyzed. Oakfeld slams you into the ground
she?
using this huge
Underneath.
wooden hand that seems to be rotting from the inside out. And as he slams into you, this pulpy wood just bursts across you. You feel these spectral maggots just wriggle across your
guys are
body
probably
before
like-
disappearing, and then the hand regrows.
Can't go down that hall.
That's going to be 2 of his legendary actions, and that brings us to Brenna.
There we go.
There you go.
Your turn.
I mean, you can't
I
move.
believe at the end of
Can
your
I
turn-
attack?
At the end of your turn, you're paralyzed. At the end of your turn, you can make the saving throw again.
I would like to do so, please.
Go
Thank
for
you. Con, you 16.
A 16, unfortunately, still paralyzed on the ground. Oakfeld's rotten hand broken away from his body, almost pinning you there. And as you look down, you can see all these creatures that normally would be just earthworms and various bugs that might live within a tree now seem to almost become purple and engorged. And they move across you, and you are unable to move. It feels like they're moving closer and closer to your face.
Yeah. Can I, so I took damage, so I would like to roll on the wild magic table again.
For it.
You take 1d6 force damage.
Nice.
Jerk.
Roll damage.
Right. That's me who rolls that. Two force damage.
That's how
As
you
Oakfeld
attack other player
this
characters.
haze, you censor yourself slam Brenna into the ground, although you can't see. You just feel this little poof right in your side, almost like maybe something fell off the ground and hit you in response. But no problem. Anything else, Brenna?
No.
Do I get to make a Constitution save because I took damage?
Yes, you do. Oh man, great! But this wild magic surge is
So good.
it's giving you so many chances.
Yeah.
Chances. What the fuck?
15. Do I add my con modifier?
It's a Constitution saving throw.
So
So add your con save.
that is a 24.
That succeeds.
The Archidai is mine.
With a 20, no, that doesn't mean it's
That's
yours.
how it works in life.
As you smash Brenna into the ground and you hear her
Ow,
kind
ow,
of grunt
ow.
in pain, you shake your head, and as you look, you can see one of your own hands, rotten from the inside out, this stain against Melora's magic, but it's yours and broken across Brenna, and you see Brenna like peeling herself off the ground, although very stiff. That is
That was legendary actions.
legendary actions. Regain. That was at the end of Brenna's turn, correct?
Yep.
Right up to the top of the round. Aka, what do you want to do?
Moving in close myself and getting my good old advantage on him, and I'm just gonna fucking wail the shit out of him until I die.
There you go.
Valid technique.
Advantage. That's gonna be a hit.
That's nice to know.
The top one was a dirty 30.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna hit.
So first attack hit. Second attack is also gonna hit. It's 29.
Okay, roll damage.
Those are both cocked. They like landed on each other up against the side of the corner.
Fair enough.
It would have been good dice too. It's still okay. 25 points of magical slashes or piercies, and then second attack with my haste action.
Okay,
That's gonna be 31.
that hits.
And I'm gonna go ahead and do that. It's gonna be another 11 points of magical piercing.
Very nice.
And then bonus action, I'm going to make a non-proficient extra attack. That's -6. Math is hard. That's gonna be still like a 20. It was a 19 plus like
Oh, yeah,
7
yeah.
or
You're fine.
I can't math. Yeah.
Roll damage.
And then non-proficient damage. That's gonna be 12 points of magical
Very
piercings.
nice.
And that's it.
So from this position, using your own echo form as backup, you carve into him again and again. And as he tries to push you aside, he is not physically strong. But even to carve through the miasma of his intellect is difficult. And you find yourself almost feeling like you're hesitating to strike. However, anything else, Aka?
I'm going to. So I've got him flanked here. No, I'm gonna stay within base range of him.
Sounds good. He's going to use the end of his turn. Oh,
But I'm still
because your initiative is before layer actions and before his, actually, he doesn't have enough Legendary action. Very nice. So instead,
Where's that raccoon
Right.
gif?
I've actually never had to cast a cantrip this time.
Just gotta hit him fast and hard.
Yep.
And
He's
hope,
going to use his final remaining legendary action to cast Ray of Frost at you. And, that
Valid.
Is it a dex
At high
saving
levels,
throw?
No, it's an attack, spring spell attack.
Oh,
Not great, but still probably enough.
High level
casting
D&D.
modifier. Actually, maybe not. That is an 18 to hit.
that misses.
There you go. So as he kind of reaches out, there is a burst of frigid
I got my
energy.
echo.
It streaks right through your echo, which around it, and as it hits something in the distance, you watch as this swath of brick just freezes and cracks.
For the record, it can destroy my echo.
Yeah.
I would move the echo.
That is your echo
Yeah,
by
okay.
flavor moving around the.
Okay.
thing. So that is his legendary action. That brings us to the layer actions. This is my favorite turn.
Oh no.
Here he goes.
He's gonna get another one? If you can't find it, doesn't exist.
Yep.
That's definitely the rule.
Uh-huh.
That's how we've always.
No
played.
homework, teacher.
I mean, find the item that you gave us to protect us against,
Mind.
mind fuckery,
I mean,
and
we
therefore we
found
don't have it.
We're gonna find it after the stream's over.
It's over there.
What do you mean it's
We
over
had it.
there?
We have it.
Matt found it yesterday.
Oh, really?
Where was
We
it?
had it. It was
You didn't
over
give it to
there.
us
You
when we
guys didn't
started the
look.
game?
No, because we don't have
No,
it now.
because we don't have it.
Yeah.
Oh, we-
That our characters lost it.
Yeah.
It was right here the whole time.
Hey,
Why are you punishing this side of the table?
yeah. I was the one who kept reminding
But
everyone.
it's paper, so.
I wasn't here that day. I
Your
don't
life, Aka.
No, not that thing again.
Aww.
Not the fleshy guy.
Watch
This is not it.
as
This is resistance
this
to necrotic.
as this
Do it back to him angrily.
Well, we had that too.
still almost half full of body parts
That would've been
seems
so
to
good.
lurch, and then lurch again.
Would have been good.
And then, Brenna, you can hear, even through your rage, your heartbeat begin to pulse even harder as this heart golem claws its way to the bottom of the stairs. So, on the layer action, I get to attack with the undead guys now.
Did this one die?
There's two that are dead.
Yeah, I killed that one.
And the other one.
But there's the other guy over there.
Yep.
That they're in
There's
the hallway.
Oh, right,
Over
they were
there.
going after
over there.
Oakfell.
And then Oakfeld was like, peace.
Bye.
So the two that are kind of down the hallway are actually going to move in the other direction. Backwards. They're
Down
gonna
the
try to go
stairs
beh-
here?
No, they're going to try to go
Or- they're
behind
going up here.
Eleanor.
What?
So, like this way.
Yep.
Okay, so 5, 10, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Yep. So just move
30.
them all the way up to the corner, and they're going to stop just at a sight from where Eleanor is.
So, like here.
No.
Other side here? Here.
This is
The crystal kind of in the way there.
Yeah, but that's
That's
that
why.
works. That's right.
Okay.
Just remove it. That's fine.
Yeah, we'll
don't
just
need it.
move it out
So
of the
you
way.
can hear Eleanor all of a sudden through the echoes of the hallway behind you as these creatures stagger forwards. There's one more right near Brenna, I believe, right?
Didn't I kill that one?
I can't.
There's no more.
No, there's no more.
No worries.
There's
So,
the
it's just
spore
the
guy.
Shepherds of Rot are going to continue lumbering up. They're going to get to where you are. Actually, they're going to stay right at the bottom of the stairs. And then the one that is near Oakfeld
Reach, but I'm up.
is going to go
Like,
between Oakfeld's
Still in
legs.
his range, but like, you know.
It's going to walk over top Brenna,
Kind of tall.
and it's going right for you, Eleanor.
It's nice.
It's going
Oakfeld, do you have your reaction?
So Zystrees is able to use Oakfeld's reaction, and Zystrees is going to decline to do so.
I thought Oakfeld broke
Yeah,
free.
he got-
Oh, you broke free!
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you do have a reaction, so if you want, you can take an attack of opportunity.
Sorry, which creature?
Thank you.
The rock guy.
The rock guy?
Yeah, the
Oh, no,
mushroom guy.
this one. Okay.
So all of a sudden, Oakfeld, as you snap through,
Shroomy boy.
you feel the sensation as a mushroom creature squirms between your legs, leaving elements of itself just scraped on the sides of your wood. And as you look down, this creature is like lunging towards Eleanor, stepping over Brenna.
I'm going to give it a straight up, just like arm kind of grab.
Yeah,
with
sure.
like a big piercing thorn coming right out at its neck,
Yeah, make an attack roll.
and just like slam it right against the ground. That's perfect cock.
Yeah.
That's like a perfect cock.
What phrasing? What phrasing?
No, show him what it was. Show him
It
this.
landed right
We're
in
gonna
this
just mark that so
with
you
like
come back.
the corner pointing.
I've had this in my
straight
thing.
up.
Why do you have like an obstacle course for your dice?
Roll.
It's the first time it's ever happened. That's a 3. Plus Panthers.
So
can't see all the
unfortunately,
good rolls
still
on
too little.
attacking us.
As you snap, you see this creature
Die
move,
back.
and for a moment you can hear that echo in the back of your
Make it
mind,
filthy.
Oakfeld, that just says, "They ruin everything," and you go and you hesitate to strike. That is their
Reaction.
movement. That is
Can you reach me?
that creature doesn't get hit, so it gets all the way up to where
Yep.
Eleanor is, and it is going to get to make attacks against you.
I'm paralyzed.
Oh right, still paralyzed.
Yeah.
Forgot.
Yeah.
All right.
Once again, I'm cornered in a
Does a
hallway.
17 hit?
Yes.
So then a 24 hits too.
Yeah.
Okay. Eleanor. Ooh, you got lucky. You are taking 13 points of slashing damage and 5 points of poison damage, as well as 19 points of slashing damage and 9 of poison. This creature carves into you once, carves up again, and you can feel elements of your skin being ripped away, and where it leaves, it's not so much a sting, it almost goes numb, and as you look down, you can see this purple tinge to your flesh, and already you can see in the veins that lead into the rest of your body, it's getting darker, as if being carried further in. But that is their attack. The two that are over by you, Aka.
I'm floating. I just couldn't reach.
Yeah, but and so you're within 60 feet though, right? You're not all the way up at the ceiling?
No, I'm probably like 15 feet. However tall he is, like, you know,
worries.
I'm picturing it like echo form and me just like zipping around
Make a dexterity saving.
in 3 dimensions. Is it against magical spell
It is
effect
not.
or it's like a nature thing?
This is a nature thing.
Okay.
And this is make two saves because you're
Two saves?
saving against 2
Nature
attacks.
continues to be the
Okay.
bane of Aka's existence.
What kind of save am I making?
This is a dexterity
Dex
save.
save? Okay. The first one is a dirty 20.
Great.
Second one is a 19.
Okay, no problem. Both succeed. You watch as one of these creatures almost drops its hands down to its side, and you see the flesh of its arms merge into the stalk of its body. It seems to become shorter and a little bit more bulbous before all of a sudden bending down and exploding outwards. You watch as it propels its entire physical momentum into a singular cannon shot that you just out of the way of, and it paints itself across the wall. You can pull it across off the table. And same thing for the second one as you dodge out of that. And
You.
as it strikes into the brick behind, you can hear this it begins to burn and sizzle. And you would imagine you dodged a pretty good amount of damage there.
Cool, because I'm.
That is all of the undead. But we have the heart column.
Hello.
No. It's gonna just take its turn to think about stuff.
Eleanor, Oakfeld, can you go ahead and for me make Constitution saving throws, please?
Do I need to make one?
You're paralyzed.
Oh, so I automatically fail.
18.
It's not that I'm
You're
not
no
caught
longer
in whatever
charmed.
this is.
18, okay. That's a success, Oakfeld.
Still blinded?
8?
Eleanor,
Is Oakfeld still
an
blinded?
unfamiliar sensation.
Oh, man. Not
All of a
again.
sudden,
Yeah.
you
How long is
feel
the last
the
time?
anger in your heart rise up.
Oh, until the start of
And
action.
you are raging.
Thank you.
All of a sudden,
angry?
this situation
Oh, no.
overwhelms you, and as you hear the heartbeat rise up in your ears, you feel furious. You are raging, and that does mean quite a few things in terms of your rogue abilities, so definitely check those out.
Oh
However,
boy.
that is going to be
Oh no.
just its ambient ability. Oakfeld, you passed. It is now going to take attacks against you, Oakfeld.
Oh no.
Oakfeld, that is a 13 to hit,
I was trying to see if it was like enough.
and then a 20 to hit.
20 hits.
eat. Oakfeld, you take 25 points of slashing damage as it carves across you, and as it does, you see the muscles and sinew of the arm split, and there are just hearts pulsing all along the forearm, up into the shoulder. This creature is just a mound of hearts and bone, and it slashes into you with these ridges of bone and then pulls back. However, that is all the undead turn. That brings us to Initiative Order 20 and Eleanor. Sextrees also regains his legendary actions.
I can't figure out what the problem is with Eleanor raging.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay then.
I know.
You do.
I know.
Do I have to use strength?
So when you make your attack roll, the biggest thing about it. So what are you doing? You're raging.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I would just stab the guy in front of me if I'm pissed.
Okay, no problem. Go ahead and make your attack rolls.
I guess we're about to find out.
Yeah,
what the
I'm
problem
just
is.
like,
Not yet. Soon.
is there, does Brenna count as being within 5 feet? Because she's paralyzed. I think she does.
She does.
Dang it. It's a natural one.
Yeah. So unfortunately, in this rage, as you are so furious, you begin to swing with this blade as if it's a bladed weapon, not the piercing point of a rapier. And so as you hit this creature, it hits, but it's basically, with the dagger. So as you hit it, you're almost just like using the flat end to slash across, and it cuts into the flesh, but does almost no damage. Anything else, Eleanor?
How coherently am I thinking?
Not very.
And I would probably call the rapier back through the guy.
Yeah, no problem. Make an
Yeah.
attack roll.
Is the mini?
Probably.
There's this
She's
one.
somewhere out there.
Oh, okay.
Ba-ba, I can do
Phew.
math. 18?
18.
It's like above
18 is a
you.
hit.
Okay.
Oh, there's also.
8?
And that is against which one?
The spore guy in front of me.
Okay.
Sporio.
I hate that so much. Oh god.
So mean.
All right. No problem. So you see the rapier just return to you. You kind of grab it, gritting your teeth through rage. Anything else, Eleanor?
I would probably. I would probably just stay
Okay.
because I heard the people behind me. There's this guy in front of me, and I'm angry.
Yes, you are.
So I'd probably just be like, mother. Just like cursing wildly at this stupid thing.
No problem.
I'm mad.
Yeah, just like
I feel angry.
cursing my luck to doing this whole fucking thing.
Yeah, no problem. At the end of your turn, Zystrees, now with his legendary actions back, is going to reach forwards. Yes?
I'm just waiting for the drop.
Gotcha.
Of, I think I know what's happening.
He's going to grab you with this paralyzing touch. And so go ahead, make a Constitution saving throw. Nope. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is a magical, it's a melee spell attack. Sorry, this is a melee spell attack. So first, I have to hit you.
Oh, okay. Phew.
Yeah, that's definitely going to hit. That is a 31.
Damn.
So go ahead and make your con save.
All right, that's a 28.
28, no problem. He reaches out, and again, your hasted form darts to the side. That is his legendary action at the end of Eleanor's turn, which leads to his turn. His legendary actions refresh. Okay.
Cool.
So as you dodge out of his grip yet again, unable to lay his hands on you, it seems almost as if he is growing frustrated. You watch as all of a sudden the hands pull together and he begins to make these motions. These long, spindly fingers are able to trace around each other in ways that are alien to you. These fingers do not just have 2 knuckles, there are 3 and then some 4, and so they can move in ways that are very unique, and they trace glyphs that are hard to look at. They almost remind you of others, but in this moment, hard to think. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Is it a magical
It is a
spell
magical
attack?
spell, yes.
27.
That is a success. So,
I swear.
You watch as this creature, as Zystris, makes these complex glyphs, and all of a sudden there is a single point of light that is so bright that it almost blinds you. And all of a sudden it erupts into a single beam as he casts Disintegration. The pillar that is behind you, the one closest in the corner to Dan.
This one?
The one closest in the corner to Dan, yep. One that Dan's holding.
Oh,
Pulls out of the way. You watch as the beam traces straight down.
Dan.
It carves a zigzag through the stone, and where it carves, the stone crumbles away and becomes nothing. And on the ground, you can just see a pile of stone dust that in the very late wind here begins to wisp and blow.
Glad I dodged that
He
one.
pulls his hand back, and he just says, I will finish you. And he pulls his
I'm just
hand back.
glaring.
No problem. That is going to
Jackson
That brings us to you, Oakville.
Aka uses mean look.
It's not very effective.
Oakfeld is going to turn around.
Ghost types are immune.
And he's
The
going
normal type
to
attacks.
produce the elixir potion
Okay.
and all the acorns.
Okay.
And he's going to pour all of the acorns into the elixir.
Remind me which elixir you're using. It's
The
been a long
one
campaign.
that the guy who hates Akka gave me that fakes.
I
Or
have
two.
notes on this somewhere.
Or two. It's or two.
All three.
Amazing. Okay. Where are you putting the acorns?
I'm just going to do like a mouth sandwich, just put it in my mouth. And
Oh my
potion.
god. Oh my god.
Do you remember what you said it would do?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to say,
My lord, you prophesied the
Bet you didn't
planting.
play that one.
My lord, you prophesied the planting of this acorn would bring back what was once lost in the cycle of decay and renewal. I assume the prophecy meant to us a physical location. Zystris told me the acorn was probably for myself to grow stronger roots.
This is what Joe
What?
said it would do.
I realize now.
Yep.
You may bore my skin, but you may never pierce my heart. Because I am not just Oakheart. Everything, man or nature, it is all my heart. And I will spread my heart. I will swallow this acorn and grow stronger. I will spread my pollen to return what was lost to the cycle of decay and renewal.
So, you say this, and as you finish that last word, your stomach begins to hurt. You feel the acorns rumbling around, and you drank the elixir too?
yeah. And he's pushing as much as he can into transforming into a new kind of tree.
Yeah.
This is the first time he's ever transformed into a new kind of tree.
Yeah.
And this tree is called the Oak Heart.
Oakfeld, as you swallow this and drink this
And
magical potion that was created from this druid in the middle of a huge desert called the Nothing, where Tuda told you to take this, plant this acorn in a place where nothing grows. This is an elixir that is supposed to create instant growth. And so, as you swallow these acorns and pour this down your throat, you feel. And as the branches erupt from your body, splintering the bark, you take 91 points of bludgeoning and piercing damage. And your size becomes huge as you erupt and absorb the elements of wood into your body and become a huge Oakfell.
I'm also casting the once a day ability to become gigantic Oakfeld.
There you go.
And as I do that, a swelling in Oakfeld comes, and a massive amount of pollen billows from his heart, and it builds. And as it goes, he reaches out to the 60-foot or 50-foot ceiling, because he's 64 feet, and tries to attack the ceiling, breaks out, and pushes much pollen everywhere outside into the world, into this place where you're at right now.
So first of all, put yourself on the gigantic Oakfell.
I've always wanted to just knock over the map and just be like, let's go!
I feel like you should at
to
least
take
get
my
that
7
column.
hit points.
I feel like the column should
Take my
be
7.
crossed,
I
right?
want to aim my growth at the top of where this
Freezing.
big like potion conjuring is.
Let's say this
to
got
try to
knocked
hopefully
out.
knock a rock into the conjuring.
Does he crush paralyzed Brenna under his foot?
Oh, 1000% this is not going to be good for Brenna.
God damn it.
So,
Nothing Oakfeld does ever is.
Oakfeld,
But his heart's in.
smash the ceiling.
And is it possible for any of the rocks to come close to this?
The
From where
road
you're
to evil
standing,
is
though.
paved
Okay.
with
Unfortunately, but I love
Dead
the
friends.
some kind of intention. I
So,
don't know.
Oakfeld, you explode. The ceiling bursts from the gigantic form of your growth. Part of that 91 points of damage is you growing, and then parts of you almost breaking before the wood itself can break the stone on top. And suddenly, over top, you can hear howling wind and arcane thunder. Give me a second here.
And I spread my pollen out to the world of Calypso.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the party in the room, everything
Everyone's getting
pollen.
pollen.
Yeah.
Is it the healing kind?
It's the heart kind. I mean, yeah.
What the fuck does that even
So
mean?
no then.
I mean, yeah, it is.
So
but,
Brenna's like super dead.
but only if you're half health. It's still the
Bren.
normal.
Oh, right.
pollen.
That's why.
Wait,
Oakfeld, can you
that's
roll
active?
66 for
It's
me?
always
Still good.
66.
It's only if you're at half health though. Oh,
And if you're within 30 feet, right?
yes, which she is.
No. I'm not though.
3,
Okay. I'll take that.
2,
He's about to murder Brenna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1,
3, 2, 1. Blast off.
3.
I swear to God, if this ends my rage, I'm gonna cut a bitch because that was my last rage.
If you roll a 5 here, that'd be pretty cool.
4.
No.
So-
Just like
Should be
numerically.
okay, but I will be cutting a bitch.
Just like
Is it
chop down
okay?
Oakville.
You get to experience getting killed by Oakveld too.
14, 17.
17. Brenna, you
Yeah.
take 34 points of bludgeoning damage as your attacker is within 5 feet of you and you are paralyzed.
Now,
So
do
it is a
we
critical
think that raging still has that even though I'm paralyzed?
Oh yeah, because as long as you take an attack, you're still raging. It's arguably even worse because you can't do
Okay.
anything about
So
it.
did the
Oakfeld
rocks
takes
get-
1d6
did the
points
rocks
of
just
damage
get
because he hit me. And they're right now I've got magical lashing out
Did
and
the
retribution.
rocks
Take
hit you?
1 damage, you
Did the
dickhead.
rocks hit or did Oakveld hit?
The rocks, but it's an attack from the person. And so
Okay.
it says attacking creature. It's from the text of paralyze
Yeah.
as a condition.
Yeah.
So it
I'm
makes sense.
gonna. That was damage. I'm gonna roll on the wild magic table.
Yeah, go for it.
It's the throwy weapon.
It's not a reaction to do that, right?
Oh, it might be. Hold on.
Because if it's a reaction, you can't do it.
Damn it! It is. Sorry about that.
So there you are, still paralyzed, just a little bit less life.
Yeah.
That, Oakfeld.
Could be worse.
Is that what else are you doing?
Well, that was just my bonus action.
Yeah, I know.
that was a
I
doozy
know.
of a turn.
Yeah, damn.
So I'm going to, now that my arms are reaching out into the ceiling, I'm going to bring down the ceiling over this cauldron and try to put some rocks to destroy it.
Sure. Go ahead and for me roll damage.
Okay.
All right.
Don't forget to take the 1 HP of damage that I dealt to you.
Oh.
Yeah. Watch, he's gonna die. 1 HP is gonna
Yeah,
put him over that.
And he'll
limit.
deserve it.
He's gonna take like 200 damage in one blow, and he could have
Oh, you said
survived
just rolled a
159.
Yeah.
D10, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I got it. It's a 1 and that's a cock.
Landed.
Well, D10 is just one of those dice. 2 of those is a D100.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry.
This one. He's got him.
And there he goes.
Another thing better not crawled out of that pit. What's a rock?
Oh my god,
Nice.
thank god. I thought there was gonna be a creature like the.
Just like a dragon fucking crawls out.
What I will say is, as an effect for that, you may have noticed on each of the start of the lair actions, creatures emerge from this pit, and although it is not quite the end of this turn, you can see skeletal arms beginning to drag themselves up, and you would imagine the first round there were all these skeletons, probably similar. You reach over top and yank the ceiling down with your massive wood-like arms, and these stones rain down and cancel out the layer action as these skeletons are crushed before they can even be created.
Yeah. Good job,
All
bud.
the
Great
Oakville
job.
fuck ups.
Very well done. That's super cool. All right, anything else, Oakfield?
That's my turn.
There you go. Brenna, paralyzed, now under rubble, and a massive oak. You are, for what it's worth, too, he's like straddling you.
I'm
so it's a bad view. What are you doing? Is there
I guess
anything
I'm-
else? There you go. Yeah, make your
Just saving, right?
Yeah.
Can I do anything else? I can't even talk. Fuck. 12.
You remain paralyzed. Luckily, taking the damage does keep your rage going, and if anything, you are even more pissed.
My rage continues regardless of whether I
Right,
take
enduring
damage
rage.
because I have 16 levels of barbarian.
No problem.
Rage Barian.
So, Brenna, that is your turn. That brings us to the top of the round. Akka, you go before the lair.
I'm wailing into him some more.
Make some
Fuck this guy.
attack rolls, yeah.
As the only person capable of maybe
At
ending this battle.
advantage here.
I know, I'm just like, fucking stuck. It's fine.
That one's cocked. That's a
If I'm stuck, you're stuck.
28.
28, that is a hit.
Elmer's
Alright.
in her rage just picks you up and carries you with her. We're going into battle, Brenna.
Was at least a 20. Make sure I didn't get a natties. Okay, that's a
I know
27.
what I can
Okay,
do. I
that
can just
hits.
do everything.
2 hits.
So let me roll those.
Oh,
That's
what's
going to
your
be
rage?
19
I-
points of
I
magical
have way
piercing.
more reach probably now.
Second attack,
Us up and throw us.
I know.
that's
No, I mean, if he's threatening them.
32. to
I
hit.
don't even
that's
know what
good.
my reach is. Normally it's like, I think
Ooh,
10.
nice.
but then
14
huge
points
is
of
supposed to
magical
get even bigger,
piercing.
and now gigantic. I don't even.
Okay,
And then bonus action, I'm gonna hit him with another attack.
go for it.
Huh?
Does it not say?
And that's a that one's
No,
actually
this
only a
is not.
23
This is
to
not a
hit.
stat.
23
This is all like just
Cool.
made
Okay.
up bullshit.
Great.
Just flavor. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well,
No, it's
I
not
didn't,
flavor. It's mechanical.
That's
It's just I don't
gonna
know.
I didn't know if you guys
Never did it.
established
Ooh,
like,
max
In the
damage.
no, in the
15
actual
points
in the actual
of magical piercing.
Very nice.
just 10 feet.
And that's my
Okay.
But
So you carve into him again and again, in your hasted state, as he reaches towards you with this decaying hand, you jerk to the side and you slash at him. And as you carve into this pale flesh, again and again, he's beginning to look kind of hurt.
unleashing all of my fury upon the world
And even
into this
through
condensed form of fucking him up.
you see these multi-jointed hands come down to hold the freshest wound as blood pours forth. But even in that, you can hear in your mind, you don't understand. Even if you kill me now, I'll come back. You can't win. Anything else? Sorry, that is the end of your turn?
Yep, that's it.
Okay. That brings us to the layer action. You all watch as these skeletal creatures begin to crawl out, and then Oakfell just yanks the ceiling down, crushing multitudes of them. In fact, it would have been 5. So, smashing 5 of these skeletal creatures into the pit. There are these, and you can see there are like fingers and hands trying to climb out, but crushed by these stones. That is the layer action for this round. That brings us to Eleanor.
Okay, I'll do the 15-foot reach right now.
oh, you looked it up?
Yeah, nice.
As a gigantic
Very
creature.
nice.
Yeah, it's 15 feet out and 20 feet up.
So you can just
You could like grab Eleanor right now.
So,
to pick me up and throw me over to the side street.
toss me.
Since he's now threatening the spore creature,
Yeah.
I get advantage
Yes.
to stab.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Yay.
I'm going to stab with advantage.
There you go.
Sorry, that's what we were trying to work out. During
Yeah.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah. Great. And yeah, everything feels very threatened at this moment. You see very large creature. This is the largest creature in this plane.
Nice.
Cool. So that is a lot to hit. That's like 26 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
It's fucking dagger time. Because I'm not thinking straight, so it's fucking dagger because it's in my hands.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Alright, so that's. This is a very good roll. Okay, so it's. 47 points of damage.
In your fury, you take this dagger out. The rapier almost like turns as if like, what about me? But you take the dagger out, you grab onto this mushroom-like head, you yank the head back and just slash through the throat or whatever would be a throat. And as you do so, you don't expect that there's no bones within this, but there isn't. And you just decapitate this creature. You toss the head down, the body crumples to the side, it is dead.
Nice.
So I'm really like, Brenna, get up! She's gonna like try to pick Brenna up.
Sure, no problem. You try to haul Brenna up. Brenna's like stiff as a board on the ground, but no problem. That is your turn, Eleanor.
Do I understand what's wrong with Brenna? That she's like magically paralyzed?
Yeah, I would say you can probably put that together.
Would there be anything I could do about it as a bonus action?
You've seen Oakfeld snapped out of trances with damage, so maybe you might think that that would work.
Okay, I'm gonna bonus action slap Brenna with my hand.
Yeah, no problem. You bonus action slap Brenna. Brenna doesn't even feel that. Brenna...
I probably get hurt.
Brenna sees more than Brenna. Brenna, paralyzed, raging, doesn't even register.
Okay. Oh, fuck.
You have advantage against me when you slap me.
I already used my sneak attack, so it doesn't.
Anything else?
See, okay, that did not work. I still have a little bit of movement, but everything
And you
is
pulled the mushroom
fucking
creature
rubble.
off the board?
No, everything's rubble. So I'm just gonna move forward and be next to Brenna, and then stand sideways so I can like look that way and see if the undead are coming.
Yeah.
But that's all I can really do.
Like dagger one direction, rapier the other. No problem. That is Eleanor's turn. That brings us to Zeistries. So, Zeistries looking at you, Akka.
I go, meh.
Check out.
I was like, try to move, but it's all just fucking rocks.
Rocks in a giant fucking tree.
I mean, technically we
Zeistries
can move through him because
looks at you,
To the-
Akka.
to the
You
heart.
dodge from one of his decaying hands. You
next to
slash at him. You cut into him again and again. He's beginning to look pretty hurt. And so now you see these eyes flare up. The tendrils along the bottom of his neck begin to writhe. And he says, I gave you so many chances, but they're gone now, Akka. Die. And he casts Power Word Kill. How many hit points do you have?
69.
You're dead. Oh no! Akka, your echo form disappears as you
I thought I was gonna be able to avoid it.
I'm sorry,
Die.
bud.
Fuck.
and Akka, you fall to one knee. You can feel the life essence draining away from you in a violent way. When Zeistries killed you last, you fell and bled out. This is different. This feels like your soul is bleeding out. And in this last moment, is there anything that you do before you die?
I'm going to... Do I get, like, an actual action?
No.
You get a flavor action.
Okay.
Action. True.
Can I try to give my echo discreetly the ring?
You utter a word
As
of
I'm-
power that compels one creature you can see to die instantly.
Okay.
I'm giving you some flavor here.
Okay, yeah.
Just
Trying to, like, reach for the ring to, like, throw it towards, you know, as discreetly as I can as I'm like, ugh, and then just dying.
You fall to the ground, your hand hits, and you can see the ring almost off your finger. And in the last second before your vision fades and you feel yourself pulled to this other place, you can hear in your mind, "For me." And you see the hand bend down. But that is his turn.
Oh
Move Akka from
no.
initiative.
I'm sorry.
That brings us to Oakfeld. Oakfeld, as you are gigantic, you can see over this huge Mindflayer tower, and you watch as Zeistries utters a single word, and you feel the life force of Akka die. These are no death saves. This is real death. And because it is 9 o'clock, we haven't taken a break yet.
Okay.
This is a good place for us to take a break. We will be stepping away for just 10 minutes, and then we're going to come back to continue this battle, starting with Oakfeld's turn. Thank you for sticking with us so far. Sorry you died, Matt, but you did rush out in front of everybody again as per
Yeah, you know,
As Astries has been watching you guys do this again and again. So
I knew
a pretty good
the
plan.
thing is, Power Word Kill was always going to be there, and I knew it, but I thought that I had enough to not die.
This is the first person you faced with Power Word Kill, and yeah, he was holding it for a while. So, thank you for staying with us. We're going to be back in 10 minutes. We'll see you then. And welcome back. Thank you for sticking with us through the break. Let's just jump right back into this combat. Oakfeld, you are currently a gigantic, like 60-foot tall tree. You have pulled down elements of the roof and the wind swirls overhead. There is rubble all around your feet. Also, a paralyzed Brenna and a screaming, furious Eleanor. There are dead creatures all around trying to get out of this well that you've collapsed in. And you see Akka dead. Oakfeld, what do you want to do?
I am going to move. I can move 30, and then I have 15-foot reach, so I can just
Move.
You do provoke an attack of opportunity.
Oh yeah.
Just gently nudge.
Scooch everything into the corners. I mean, that's probably like
hit?
pretty.
Yeah. No, I have 19.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
So this creature carves into you, and it just barely registers across your trunk. You just step right over a creature that was before bigger than you. You now dwarf it. So you just go right over top.
If I reach out and cast Revivify and grab onto someone, and my hands are made of thorns.
Was it Revivify that you said?
Yes.
In a way? Okay.
Would that bring back Akka if I bring my hand back?
So Revivify.
It's a touch.
It's a couple things. So you should read the spell carefully before
Yes.
you commit to it. Look at the components of it.
Dost thou have a diamond worth 200
Oh no, we actually do that with opponents.
Oh yeah.
gold pieces?
No, Oakfeld doesn't have anything.
For cost components, components have a gold value or that are consumed, those are the ones that you need to have. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, this is my first time doing Revivify. Yeah, I can't do
That's what I
that.
was saying. You
Oh,
gotta
okay.
do.
So what are you doing, Oakville?
Oh, then I'm just gonna attack Dice Trees then.
There you go.
I've never actually used Revivify in my life.
Revivify, yeah, it's a situation you need to, like, Gunter carried around diamonds specifically for that purpose.
Okay.
That's
Or
right.
actually, he knew who had diamonds because he went through their stuff while they were sleeping so that he could use their diamonds to revivify
You don't need
them.
this anymore.
No.
He's dead.
Yeah, fair enough.
He's
Oh,
Someone's gotta have a diamond.
That's a 19 plus 10.
Yeah,
That is
it's
the
casually
hit.
in my pocket.
Go ahead
Here's
and roll
300
damage. You
gold.
slam your massive branches into Zeiss trees.
We might have. Maybe we should have obtained one.
Right, that whole week we had of preparing
So much
and
time.
shopping. Instead of all the shit we left behind, we
No
should
one
have
knows
gotten a
that you had a
diamond.
There's
revivify.
diamonds and glistens
Well.
in exchange. I mentioned them several times for that reason.
Yeah.
What?
12?
12 points of damage, all right. And that's not magical, correct?
No.
Okay.
Non-magical.
Doesn't seem to be doing quite as much as you would imagine, but no problem. You slam in,
You have
he
one.
spins
Yeah.
slightly.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, but you don't know it.
Anything else, Oakfeld?
But if I touched you,
Anything else, Oakfeld?
I'm going to second attack. I have to second attack. Unless I can do any other act. No, I can't. I can't bring it up.
Just
Just
okay,
attack.
we're through rock as well.
It's a 15 plus 10.
That hits.
25.
think, actually, I feel like we can get away. Because I know
That is a 9
like Eleanor.
plus 4.
About like the diamond.
Very nice.
13.
Definitely know. We do have a ring.
14?
13.
13. Okay, so that's reduced.
But we have to act fast. 'cause we
Okay.
have a minute.
Oh, and I have a bonus action as well.
There you go. What are you
Honestly,
doing?
if Eleanor's still raging, she's gonna just hit his turn to rank.
That's a natural 1.
There it
So,
goes.
luckily, there are no death saves to fail because as you sweep by and Zeiss trees just shuffles back, almost seeming to float across the ground, you smash Akka's corpse into this stone and you pull away, and his whole torso is like crumpled, the metal slightly bent, but you pull back, no problem. That your turn, Oakfeld?
Does he fall anything down the stairs or anything? Or he's
No,
still, okay.
he's like part of
Does
it.
anything fall out of his pockets?
That is the end of your turn. And at the end of your turn, Zeistries is going to pull back, look down at these wounds, and he's going to reach forwards and he's going to say, "You're next." Go ahead and make. Oh, actually, first, does a 26 hit?
Oh, yeah.
Make a Constitution saving throw, please.
That is a 19. This Akka die is on fire. All I had needed was Akka to die.
What is the total?
Plus 9, so 28.
He reaches out, and you feel as if you were still in your human form. Your nervous system would seize, but you reach forward, and if it's like some of the branches lock up, you just break that part of your body away and regrow a new one. You are unable to be paralyzed by this creature.
It takes more than that to corrupt this heart.
You hear Brenna from your paralyzed position under the rubble that Oakfeld pulled atop you. It is your turn. What would you like to do?
I would like to not be paralyzed anymore.
All right, make your saving throw.
It's a natural one.
You are locked underneath, and then right as Oakfeld steps over for a minute, you can see furious Eleanor, and you're like, and then the rocks just across her face, and hard for Eleanor to even see you. But that is your turn. That brings us to the top of the round. Aga, you are dead. That brings us to the lair action. So you watch these mushroom spores seem to reach out, but still unable to move around this rock. Yet again, this lair action completely held down by a boulder in the well. That is the lair action. That brings us to Eleanor. Eleanor, what do you want to do?
Is Eleanor still raging?
You are still raging.
She's gonna charge up to the guy and stab him.
Yeah, go for it. You charge. Like, Brenna, from where you are, you feel like a person stomp on the rubble that is on top of your body, and it just kind of bruises you slightly. But Eleanor, you cross the distance, no problem. Make your attack.
So because we're the only people within 5 feet, I believe I get advantage on this.
You do.
For the rare times that there's actually no one else fucking around.
All of a sudden, in this pile of rubble and ruin, there is maybe a 10 by 10 space, and you are in a phone booth with this massive creature of beating hearts and bones.
So I'm gonna get revenge for the last time we saw one of these. Yeah, a 27.
27, that hits.
All right, so this is dagger stabbies. So not as great, but Eleanor's still not thinking straight, and the rapier flies. So she's like, whatever. Several dice later, not as good as the last one.
It's uncomfortable being on the math camera.
I love
could
it.
never be a rogue.
And watch.
It's also
Eleanor counts number.
for Alana, it's the math camera.
31.
For Hannah, it's the sympathetic
31.
faces at math camera.
And then
And this is piercing damage?
it's piercing. It's magical piercing.
Interestingly, it seems as if this creature formed of these fleshy sacs filled with fluid and air, really prone to being punctured. And so as you stab through, it's almost like you skewer multiple hearts and pulling them out. It's like a shish kebab of flesh that you cast off to the side, still beating and rolling across the ground. But this creature looks badly hurt by that.
Okay, and then I'm gonna like do my roguey rogue back.
You earned it.
Because I still have some movement left, and I'm gonna stab him again.
Yeah, go for it.
This one's not.
14 HP.
I'm probably gonna die after this though.
For what it's worth, I mean, that did a tremendous amount of damage.
20.
20?
Yeah.
That hits.
Boop. Not great. 7.
Okay, so as you carve into this with the knife, you are furious, and so none of the finesse. This is all just you skewering into just open, available flesh. There's nothing to stop you, and so you're carving huge chunks away from this. But still, it moves forwards, although it is looking really hurt. Anything else, Eleanor?
I'm just gonna like have the new daggers out, the rapiers flying behind me, just gonna guard Brenna.
No problem. You do so.
After stepping on top of her.
Yeah. Listen, she's not used to being this mad.
I know.
That brings us to Zeistries. So, looking around at this battlefield, having killed Akka, who was really what Zeistries was looking to do to begin this battle. Okay.
That was your cookie.
Feeling better, champ?
That's good, thanks.
Now I feel bad because I brought champagne, but I don't think we should open it.
Oh, it's the cloud again.
You watch as he snaps, his eyes never leaving the massive Oakfeld. And Oakfeld, in your mind, you hear, "You should rescue them if you would like them to live." And there's a snap, and all of a sudden, this huge puff of noxious gas fills a 20-foot sphere, completely enveloping Brenna and Eleanor. Brenna, because you are paralyzed, This is not a strength or dex save, so you do not automatically fail.
That's
So that's
nice.
nice. Go ahead and for me, not Oakfeld, Brenna and Eleanor, if you could make Constitution saving throws.
Oh, that's not good, but better than the rest of my rolls have been.
14.
14.
Those both fail. So,
How
And
poisoned
five?
am I?
huh?
No, sorry, my brain didn't register the words for a second. I was like,
Yes. Well, yes, that is a high five.
You take 23 points of
Yeah.
poison damage,
All right,
and
poisoned.
as you have failed, you are now poisoned.
yeah.
And Eleanor, enraged and poisoned, you feel suddenly like you're in a rough spot. Brenna, you feel the poison kind of seep into you as in the rubble, paralyzed. You are helpless.
me.
You can't do anything but breathe in
Don't worry,
toxic
I'm right
fumes.
there.
And as your throat begins to swell and close, it begins to suffocate you. But that is what you are doing.
Am I taking 23 points of damage?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
And I believe, actually. Oh no. Okay. So that is the end of Zeistrese's turn. The undead creatures, of which I believe there's only one left. Is
There's two guys back
Hartnell?
here.
There's those
Oh,
two
right,
guys.
those two guys
we
back
forgot
there.
about those guys.
So they're gonna continue down the path, and they're trying to go behind Eleanor, but they're only gonna move 30 feet,
10.
and they're gonna hold their actions.
20, 25, 30.
They're just the plug in that hallway. So they move, and you can see they still seem intent as if ready to attack should you run in this direction. The heart golem is going to swing around and lumber off towards Oakfeld.
Oh.
He is leaving your range of attack, I believe, Eleanor?
Yep.
So you can make an attack of opportunity if you wish.
Get him.
Does it work for ranged attacks?
No.
No.
No, that'd be
Then no.
Oh, okay. So this
yeah, I
creature
moved back.
walks up to you, Oakfeld, and you hear this heartbeat in your ears. Even through the wood and the vines and the sap, you hear this heartbeat. Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw, please. He is going to take his attacks.
That's a natural 20.
Let's
Nice.
go!
So he rolled a 20 to hit and a natural 1. So as he reaches forwards, he is carving across the wood, raking into it, and you don't even notice. You are so big that he is just crumbling away the dead outer layers of bark. He is exfoliating your shins right now. Nothing happening, you barely even feel it. That is all of the undead creatures in Oakfeld. What would you like to do, Brennan? You are on deck.
I sure am.
Oakfeld is going to reach out his vines, and as I imagine the oak heart tree is a combination of different trees strewn all over his body, and his hands. His hand is the weeping willow, and on the top of his head is a pine. His leg is a spruce. It's everything all over. It's different trees and flowers.
You're a chimera of trees.
Exactly.
Cool.
And he reaches out his weeping willow vined hand. He wraps every single piece of clothing, piece of his hair, ear, body, everything over Akka. And would I be able to find the diamond in his body if I'm encompassing everything?
What I would say
It's
is
in his
no.
pockets.
You can't just sense diamonds.
No, but I'm touching everything.
That's
Oh no, that's
If you
worse.
would like,
That's so much
as
worse.
your action, you can make an investigation check.
Okay.
So, and make it an advantage. As what you are doing is you reach your arm across, and these branches grow out and slither into pockets, into the clothes, into Akka's mouth, into the corners of the lacrimal
gross.
ducts of his eyes, and into the cranial cavity. These are like moving through the brain. You are thoroughly investigating Akka.
Gross.
7 plus 0.
I'd like to point out that Akka's torso is like destroyed at this
That is an 11.
Yeah.
An 11, okay. So you reach out, and as the branch goes through, it reaches the point where his torso is crushed into the pavement, and it just can't go into the rest of his body. You can't fully search. And so you find no diamond. That is your action. What else would you like to do? This is a good idea. Very good idea.
I don't think I have any more actions left.
That is your action.
your
So
bonus
bonus
action.
action.
Do you bonus
movement.
action anything?
I have no
Bonus
There you
action,
go.
fucking shove.
That is your turn.
Step on him.
No, action is shove.
Yeah, you
Bonus
can't
action
bonus-
shove.
Step
is
on
when
him.
you're looking at
Yeah.
it.
You don't
I
have
can
like
bonus
a
action.
spell or anything?
Brenna,
I can
Yeah.
heal more.
go ahead, make your saving throw. At the end of your turn.
Okay.
Healing word someone.
That's more like it. What kind of save is it again?
This is a you're paralyzed. Constitution saving throw.
28, Joe.
Finally,
God, thank you.
at the very end of your turn, as you are choking on this gas, it's like at the back of your mind, although he's no longer present, you almost hear a voice urging you up, and you wish that you had that strength. You probably would have gotten out of here long ago. But in this moment, you grit your teeth and you burst forth from the paralysis. It's like one little gnomish hand through the rubble, and you claw your way back to your feet. No problem. You broke your paralysis. That is the end of your turn, however. And that brings us to the top of initiative and to the layer action. Let's see.
I'm gonna go grab Squeak.
That is so unhappy. I'm so sorry.
Damn it. All of a sudden,
Yeah.
within the
Fuddled.
well, again, you can hear,
Power word kill was always there.
and you hear the heartbeats, but this creature and the skeletons and these undead mushroom creatures all trapped beneath the stones, still unable to break out through that well. That, bringing the ceiling down, really good move. You have prevented, at this point, 8 other creatures from arriving, including another heart golem and 2 shepherds of rot.
Does this make up for every other time I fucked up and made you guys lose? And
That is not for me to say. So, that is the layer action. Eleanor, what would you like to do? Zeistrees is on deck.
All right. I remember this cloud of fuckery. So, I'm just gonna run forward, try to get out of the cloud.
Okay.
So it's 20 feet,
Yeah,
centered roughly on me.
centered exactly on you.
Nice. So I'm gonna run 25 feet forward.
There you go. You run, holding your breath as best you can, the tears stinging your eyes, but you emerge furious. You feel like you're going to vomit at the same time, but there you are. You see Oakfeld, you see this heart golem, you see beyond all of them Zeistrees.
I'm just gonna say fuck you to the heart golem and tag him.
Yeah, go for it. What?
Doesn't. We're in Calypso's.
Oh, yeah.
I'm wondering what time it is. It's fucking.
It's 8 p.m. There was 8 p.m. at the start of the session, about 8:20 at the moment.
16?
Arrived in
Say again?
16?
16? 16 is going to be a miss, unfortunately.
Okay. Now the dagger.
Yeah, there you go.
1, 2, throw. Definitely no. It's a natural 1.
Yeah. So, Oakfeld, go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw, please.
That is a 17 plus 9.
So you slam this dagger in fury, and it misses the creature and goes straight into Oakfeld's knee, and the blade just ting, snaps, breaks. No damage to Oakfeld, but your dagger is broken.
My magical dagger.
Your magical dagger is broken.
Ooh.
So,
Carved your little
Why don't you
hearts.
fuck up a few more things? I
Just play out a little taps for
anything
my...
else, Eleanor?
Huh?
I'm just gonna cough. All right, that's it. That's my turn. That's all I can do.
No problem. That brings us to Zeistrees.
Join me.
Don't worry.
did
I'm
say
very
he's-
close to joining you.
I'm fine.
I'm
You guys think
I'm
that
getting
I'm
there.
upset,
I'm-
but like, I'm just the
I
first
gain
one.
health when I become large
Yeah.
every turn. And I also...
So Zeistrees
Okay.
suddenly
Oh,
takes off.
hello.
And you watch as this robe ripples in the air. He rises 10 feet and then 20, and he floats over the battlefield, just leaving a shadow across Akka before suddenly arriving. He's now floats 20 feet above this heart golem.
Attack opportunity.
He's not leaving your melee range. And so where he is, you see he closes his eyes, and in all of your minds you hear, "None of you are ever going to leave." And you watch as it seems like the shadows draw into Zeistrees. He is going to use Disrupt Life. And I need
That's
Brenna.
not great.
No, not Brenna, actually, because Brenna's all the way back there.
Oh, yeah.
So Eleanor and Oakfeld, go ahead and make Constitution saving throws, please. Actually.
My speciality.
I'm really good at 12 plus 9. 21.
Okay.
17.
Flashing genius.
That succeeds.
I've been rolling really good.
Figured.
So, this wave of necrotic energy ripples outwards. And, Eleanor,
Yep.
First.
you are going to take 36 points of necrotic damage.
Do it.
You take half
Do
of
it if
that.
I'm dead.
Am I taking half of it?
You're taking 17 points of necrotic damage. Does that knock you down? Oh. And as this ripples through, even through your rage, you suddenly feel the sickness rising through you and this poison almost dragging you down. You take the dagger and you attempt to lash out and stab. In hazy vision, you can see that it's broken. You throw it to the side and you command the rapier, but just too dizzy, too hazy, and you fall unconscious on the ground.
Yep.
Unfortunate.
Tapping out.
So, that is Aestrese's action, his movement. That is going to be his turn. Oakfeld, what do you want to do? As Aestrese now floats directly next to your face.
Wait, can I fall?
I would like to die on the table. Do your move.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna die on the table because
I'm going to attack. You're unconscious, right?
Yep.
Bonus action, healing word.
Hey,
Okay. I'm gonna cast it at
how many?
3rd level.
As you hit 0 hit points,
Yep.
you are no longer raging. You are, I believe, still poisoned, unfortunately.
Yeah. Unfortunately, death doesn't rid the toxin from my body.
That's fair. That's
But it does get the anger out.
Yeah, I wake up and suddenly like, oh no.
4 plus. No, that's modifiers. 3. So 3d4 plus 3.
You roll the.
Oh, okay, I rolled it, yeah. It's 4. 4 again. I'm gonna try the lime green one.
Nice.
So 8, 12.
As you hit the ground and this darkness overtakes you, suddenly there is just this sprinkling, this very light sensation, almost like snow. And as you open your eyes, just a little bit of pollen falling off of Oakfeld as this huge multi-tree tree swings its arms around. There's just
I'm dead.
a pollen going everywhere. And you feel yourself heal just a little bit. Oakfeld, anything else?
Fucking kill him.
Oakfeld, anything else?
I'll try to kill him.
Okay, that was your bonus action. Use your action for attack.
I'm going to reach out my arm and try to impale him and grow into him.
Okay.
That is a 14 plus 10, 24.
That
I've rolled
hits.
this great in my
That
life.
hits. Go ahead, roll damage. Yeah, this has been the best.
I can't
best that you've
believe
rolled.
it.
I'm still
half of
waiting
those rolls
for-
were doing damage
No,
to
that's a-
us.
I know,
Yeah.
that's the trick.
That's a 1 plus. 10. No, plus 4 plus 2, that's a 6. 5 plus
Nice.
2. 7.
It takes you so many rolls to get to 7. Okay, no problem. You deal 7 points of damage.
And then my second attack. That is a 17.
Okay, 17 misses. And so you like swing your weeping willow arm across and still not accustomed to it, it just gently kind of brushes against it with these soft tips. And you can see he just kind of pulls his head back, and it's hard to read expressions on a Mindflayer, but he looks a little uncomfortable. That is your turn, Oakfield.
That's everything I can do.
There you go. Brenna,
I'm going.
there you go.
Hey, Oakfield, does your
I'm just gonna fly above
Magical
all the rubble
healing?
and stuff.
is it beginning or the end of the first turn here?
When's your magical healing?
I think it's the start of your
On your turn. So
On
your
my
turn.
turn.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
are you within 30 feet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to make sure I collapsed on the table.
I'm gonna
I don't know
hit
if
him.
it gets bigger.
Your attack roll.
I'm gonna.
You shove the rest of this debris aside, and your wing sandals propel you forward.
27 to hit, Joe.
It's
All right,
That's
whatever.
gonna be 17 points of damage.
okay.
And hit him again.
Get him?
Like 32.
Yeah, that hits.
Yeah. For 18 points of damage.
18 points of damage. Not
Get him?
bad.
Yeah.
You fly forwards and you hit him again and again. You can see the arms outstretched. His eyes are opening from releasing this magic. And as you carve into him, this is the first strike that truly hits home. It cleaves into the arm and almost snaps the bone. The flesh splinters open and you can see not blood, but this clear fluid, almost tears, run from the wound. And you hear in your mind this hiss. That hurt badly. And you can see Zystris badly wounded.
Mm-hmm. And I'm like,
You do that.
That's
Free
what I
action.
do.
That, is your turn. That brings us to the top of the round in the layer action. Jesus Christ. So again, you can just hear as these creatures now trying to tear out, but nothing able. This is like a cork wedged into this well. Nothing can get out. And actually, I believe they have one more chance to maybe get something on the field. But that was really effective. That is the layer action. That brings us to Eleanor.
I'm gonna heal.
Okay.
And then,
You get 7.
yes. My question is, so
right.
the heart golem,
Yep.
how much space does he take up?
He's a large
He's
creature.
a large, so it's 10 feet of space. All right. Hear me out.
Okay.
I have the boots of water walking,
Yes, you do.
and it's a 10-foot forward.
Okay.
Bodies
Right.
are 75% water, right?
No, well, basically, my idea is I want to kind of charge through his space.
Are these the spell tinker boots?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can definitely do it so that you aim and go 10 feet and then up. Yeah, absolutely. And you go up through his space. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So I want to do that, and then have because I have 3 magical daggers. Get one of the other magical daggers and sink.
So you grab both magical daggers, you reverse your grip on them, and now no longer furious, you can think clearly. You tap your feet together, and all of a sudden, there is a propulsion. You jettison forward at a point where you almost lose grip on the daggers, but as you steel yourself, you rise up. Go ahead and make your attack rolls as you pass right by him. You can see Oakfeld, right on the other side. Brenna has just carved into him. He looks pretty hurt.
That's so fucking disappointing.
Oh my god.
A natural one.
You go forward, and as you do, there's almost like the moment where Zystris seems to fix you with his gaze, and your heart stops. Time stops around you, and it's like with his mind, he nudges your hand away. And then time right back. Oakville, make a dexterity saving throw, please. Actually, no, Brenna, make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Can I see this effect?
Yes, you definitely can.
Cool. My God. 8.
Brenna,
Yeah.
were you expecting this attack?
I don't know. I was expecting Eleanor to do cool shit. I don't know if I was
Could not
expecting
stab you.
a
So this would
dagger
be a
on
sneak
my way.
attack, huh? Go ahead and roll damage on Brenna. This is a sneak attack.
Hey, at least it was my dagger and I'm a rapier.
Stabbed you
Not
right in
cool,
the back.
man. Not cool.
I didn't listen. I tried. I'm trying. I was trying to get to the other side of him.
I know. It was a very good idea.
Oh, okay. So that's meant, but that's not. 32.
32.
Yeah.
So, Brenna, you take 32 points of damage.
And it's magic,
It's
right?
magical piercing
And
damage.
Eleanor just swings wide of Zystris and plunges the dagger into your chest.
Ow!
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Do I didn't then launch up?
And no, this is as you're launching up. So
Okay.
you're going forward, you swing, he pauses time and kind of nudges your hand so that as you're going, you just slam it into Brenna's chest and are pulled up. The dagger away, and there's a gout of blood as you exit the vicinity of Brenna.
Not cool!
He still takes 5 points of damage from my stupid boots.
There you go. And the boots let out a spark. And I throw my pen. Oof. Wait a second. Give me a second here. Okay. That does not kill him.
Damn.
That would have been so fucking
It really
funny.
would have been, yeah.
So,
Eleanor, how does that?
So that is the end of your turn, Eleanor?
that was my action.
Bonus action, disengage.
So I'm now where am I? Just next to Ice Reach and
Yeah, so you're
Brenna
in
now.
the air about 10 feet up and you feel your momentum dying.
Yeah.
You're about to fall.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna
action.
double check a
Land on his
thingamabob because
Bonus action, land on feet.
So you fly up, stab Brenna in the chest, and in like horror, as you turn around, your momentum dying, you're looking straight into the eyes of a Mindflayer, and then just beyond that, a very betrayed, angry Brenna.
and I'm like, oh fuck, and then I'm just gonna send the rapier
I understand.
into him as I'm trying to not like break my ankles.
Yeah, make an attack roll.
Oh, okay. That's still. It's not enough. It's only a 13.
That is a miss.
Fucking
And so with
poison,
too
man.
much happening, you see yourself stab Brenna. As you try to command the rapier, you are too nervous about stabbing Brenna with a bigger sword, and you pull wide purposefully. No problem.
All right, so that doesn't take my movement, right? It's
No,
that
no,
thing.
no, that's the...
So
yeah.
I'm 10 feet forward from where I was.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm gonna move my movement towards Akka's dead body.
Okay, so first, you fall 10 feet.
Yep.
Because you go 10 feet up.
Yep.
So go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
And was
She's really like, whoops.
Oh no, the column fell.
Like here.
This is such an
She's
interesting
dead.
series of movements because there's so many things happening all at once.
Yeah, listen, we're trying
Because
things.
it does provoke an attack of opportunity.
Stabbing our friends. Do I get an attack of opportunity on her?
You would if you want.
No, I don't want that.
Um,
Thank you, though.
So a dex save
Yes,
is
just-
a lot. It is a 30.
Stop
Okay,
wasting it.
no problem. You land on the ground without taking any damage from that. However, as you go
Give me the
by,
last of my power.
there's a 27 hit.
Waste it all.
Yes, but I have a question.
Yes.
Rolling it all out.
So I attempted to make a melee attack.
I see what
again.
you're saying. Fancy footwork.
Yeah.
I would argue falling does not count for fancy footwork. And
That's-
your feet are not on the ground.
That's valid.
So as you fall,
Yep.
Do a little
he
like,
reaches out, and you can see one hand on these
Kick his
wounds. He's
knee.
badly hurt.
Yeah.
But he reaches forwards,
Fancy.
and he puts his hand right on your face and slams you down into the ground.
Thank
You
you.
take no damage, but you are paralyzed.
I'll take it.
So there you are.
I hope you're not
The
paralyzed.
rapier
for as long as I
clatters
was.
down next to you, no problem.
Listen, knowing
That
my
is the end of your
fucking
turn.
con score, this is where I
That
live.
brings us to Zystris.
What is this?
There's a lot happening over there. All my things fell off. Just
Zystris turns towards
I
you,
don't know what to do.
Oakville,
Finally, okay. This is where I die.
and he reaches back, and you can see, looking up and down at your plant-like matter, he's going to say, "You of all people should know. The cold is coming. This was the only way, and now you will die too." He reaches forwards and he casts Blight. At 6th level.
that's rough.
That's probably gonna.
That's rough on all
and
that,
that's
Make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh, I'm good at those though.
And you make this with disadvantage.
Shouldn't have wasted all
Okay,
of that.
yeah, no, I
juice.
just rolled a 5, so I don't think it's gonna matter.
Do you have any lucky
5
left?
plus 9. No, I don't. I do not. That's why there's 24 days, 24 hours.
Akka's little
5 and a
ghost.
4, so that's a 4 plus 9.
Let me read
13.
something for you.
Uh-oh.
So, Blight.
Join me.
If you target a plant creature or magic plant, it makes the saving throw with disadvantage and the spell deals maximum damage to it.
Okay.
So, Oakfeld,
Oh, bye.
you take 100 points
I'm
of
dead.
necrotic damage.
Like all the way dead?
No, no, you're not all the way dead.
No,
You're
death
making
saves?
It doesn't do more than double your total maximum health. So you
I have
don't
60
die.
HP currently.
But how much is your
have
maximum?
165.
Oh, okay. 165.
Yeah, so it would have to be
Easy.
like
Easy
300
tiger.
damage to outright
Okay,
kill
yeah,
you, but that does put you down. And so Oakfeld, as he slams this hand into you, and you feel the blight ripple across your body, this poison for you and you specifically gets into your stream and just kind of runs through the plant matter. It dies, and you have to shed almost your entire body unless you succumb to this disease. And so you just, the wood explodes around you, and it's just this tiny little Oakfeld that just falls to the ground unconscious. And so that is Zystrese's turn. That brings us to Oakfell. Make a death saving throw, please.
3.
Yes, join.
There's one failure.
It'll all be worth it.
Brenna,
Oakfell dies too.
You watch as Oakfell hits the ground hard. This wood splinters everywhere. Zystrese turns and now looks at you. What are you doing?
I'm gonna hit him.
Make an attack roll.
Okay, I will. Yikes. No, could still be good. 18 to hit.
An 18 misses, unfortunately.
All right, I'm gonna try to hit him again.
You swing once, but the poison blurs your vision and you miss.
Math. 22 to hit.
That just hits it.
Neato.
Just beats it by 1.
So that's gonna be 14 points of damage.
Brenna, tell us how.
Oh my gosh! Okay, I cut his head clean off unceremoniously.
Yes.
And then
Fucking.
And then Brenna's next course of action is to go over to Akka's body and start looking for his ring.
No problem. You rush forwards, and with this axe, you swing as true and as clean as you ever have. And with no resistance at all, you carve through the jelly-like flesh of this creature, and the head is cast off and down to the ground. This creature now stands headless in front of you. And you see it sinks down to one knee. It reaches forwards, and you can see it grabs the head, and you see this last pulse of magic as it casts something akin to Speak with Dead on itself. And in this last moment, it says, "You will regret this. He comes." And he dies.
I'm gonna kick his head like a soccer ball. And then I go over to Akka's
Break your
body and start
toe?
looking for the ring. Like Vigo.
Yeah. Pulling a Vigo over there.
So, give me 1 second here.
Yeah. Is Eleanor still up at this
Nice
point?
Vigo.
You're up, right?
Eleanor's up.
Like not dead.
Oh, I'm paralyzed though. Do I
Paralyzed.
just end my
You're still
paralyzation?
paralyzed for like probably a couple seconds.
Okay, and then
And then it breaks.
On my way over to Akka's body, I'm gonna be like, Eleanor, just stabilize Oakfeld or something.
I'm gonna try to stabilize Oakfeld.
You run over, make a medicine check.
I'm so good at those.
As the body hits the ground, that heart golem just
Oh, wait.
falls. And all of a sudden, this pit goes silent. The undead all seeming to crumble without their master's influence. The air suddenly feels cleaner, less heavy, and the pressure that had been building behind all of your eyes suddenly eases. There is a storm outside with the ceiling crumbled in. You can hear the wind howling overhead, but in here, the darkness of the ritual chamber of the burning bastion, you have won. Zystrese is dead, Akka as well. But you've stopped this lich. Is there anything that you were doing at this moment? You were trying to stabilize Oakfeld, so no problem. You go over. We'll say at the end of this campaign, you are able to put your hands upon him. You were able to just barely bring him back. He still has 2 death saves, and so he's not really like on the cusp of death. Oakfeld, you come back with 1 hit point.
Aurora. I didn't.
You see Oakfeld, torn clothing, badly battered. Akka is like almost torn in half, up and sprawled across the steps. The whole building's ruined. Thousands of people have died. But Oakfeld there says, "I've done it."
I said I did it for you.
You made it, bud. I'm just gonna and run over to help Brenna find the ring to sort that out.
I'm looking in his pockets, I'm looking on his hands, like...
I'll walk over as well.
You
Like
go
limping.
over Akka's body. The armor almost kind of loose a little bit.
Crushed it.
There's no ring. And you think, and you go over and you look at Zystrese's body, and you can see, clutched in one hand, these fingers folding in and in and in again to hold it really tight, a little gleam of metal.
I grab it,
No problem.
and Brenna's gonna say to the ring, "Don't worry, Akka. I'll bring you back. Okay.
Clock's ticking.
I know. I know the rules. You explain the rules.
10 feet behind you, Brenna, there's a shimmer in the air. What do you do?
I look at the shimmer.
Sure.
Roll for initiative.
A rip in reality appears, a neat cut through the cloth of space. Two more running horizontally perpendicular to that line appear, and then suddenly you watch as space itself swings open, like a door. You see through the door for a moment before a figure steps through. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Oh my god, is this who I think it is? Joe.
3.
Oh.
Through this room, it is dark. You see a ring of raised thrones, but in it you cannot see who. However, suddenly, another figure emerges from the door, blocking your view. This one wears robes. They were white at one point, but they are slightly dirty. And you see this figure, though he is very, very old, not a single blemish, not a single liver spot. And as you look at these gleaming brown eyes, there is just this lucidity and brilliance to them. He could be 60, he could be 200. It would be really hard to tell. But he looks, and looking around, he says, "Oh, I'm so terribly sorry to intrude. I'd forgotten to return this, and I can't really give it to you now, Oakfeld. Well, I'm giving it back to you then, I guess." He turns and looks around, and suddenly just draws in and goes, "Oh,
I told you what it is.
oh, I didn't realize you all stuck around for this bit. I'll revise my notes." He turns first to the door and looks around and sees nobody there and goes, "Oh, interesting." He turns and goes to you, Oakfeld, and he hands you, 1 second here.
As he's coming towards me, I would like to perceive what flower he is.
Oh my god.
And is this the character that is basically Joe?
No, although I think that's who you're thinking of.
Yeah, I think that's one thing. The person who's the what's the word? The DM in real life.
Yes.
Yes.
And Abernathy steps forwards, and as the bender reaches in, he pulls out a single ceramic flower pot. You can see almost terracotta dyed like a yellow on the side and then transitions into black with an ombre on the interior. But he hands it to you, and he says, "It's for planting, the thing that you have. You've been looking for a long time, and if I gave it to you then, well, I won't burden you with that." He turns and he says, "I must have gone back farther than I intended."
Yes.
He turns to you, Akka, although you are sprawled across the ground. He walks over and he just looks down sadly. And as he steps through the door, you are all able to see into the room a little further. There is a creature hunched behind him, green, almost lizard-like skin, and through the darkness you see this single eye open. And from the back you hear, "Still too early, still not ready." And Abernathy says, "Oh, quite right. No sense in rushing things. We know what comes next." All right. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. And Abernathy heads towards the door. Is anybody doing anything?
I'm laying on the
I just
ground.
wanted to see what flower Abernathy represented.
As you reach out with your ability to sense auras, what comes back is so confusing and so chaotic. This is as if you open a box and you see what could be unleashed from Pandora's box and you just shut it. You don't even want to look at it. There are flowers, there are trees, there is grass, there are names of things that don't mean anything to you. There are plants, but they are not from Aurora. There are things from beyond Alberon, there are things from other planes, and you just shut it away. That's too much.
I'm sorry, have we met?
He turns and he says, Eleanor Windright. What year is it?
Stacy.
1470.
1470.
Well, this will be the first time then. Pleasure to meet you. I'm Abernathy the Bender. We'll be meeting again. And he kind of pulls his robes up around his feet and kind of continues to walk. Anybody else?
I was gonna be like, wait.
He turns and he says, I won't be seeing you again, but you've other things to do. And he turns and closes this rift in reality.
What do Where do I plant this?
You ask, but there is nothing but air.
So what are we supposed to do to bring him back?
Oh, I mean, Hannah doesn't super understand it very well, but it's been explained to Brenna. Something about his soul is in here, and if we find like a fresh body, we only have like a few, is it 5 days?
I think mechanically, it's
Yeah.
5 days.
And Brenna's gonna like look at Akka's body, considering for a second, and I guess she's gonna check whether she thinks his body is like whether she can put his soul back into his body.
Okay, you go over and you like try not to step on Akka, but it's hard because he's kind of spread out.
He's everywhere, yeah.
But you get close, and as you do, your danger sense pings slightly. And you turn and look towards the direction that you came from, and you see 3 figures climbing the stairs. One in the middle being supported by the other 2. Hyland looks pretty beat up, but Aira and Shay, both supporting on either side, they lumber up, and you can see Hyland like blotches, bad wounds that seem to have opened within her. Aira smiles weakly at all of you. You've stopped the Lich. You've pruned many sickly branches from the stem of time, but I fear we are not yet safe. While Azra remains trapped, Jaruxa and the Ninth Path are still without. With Zystris gone, he will move to claim the Angel of Agony. We must hurry. And she looks down at Akka, and then up to you, Brenna. I'm sorry, but we have no time.
Brenna is gonna like really feel that for a second, and then she's gonna do what Akka would have wanted and loot his body.
No problem. And I would say, as you kind of bend down, misinterpreting it slightly, Aira says, "We'll give you a few moments, but we need to move on." And then she turns. Shay like lingers a little bit longer on you, kind of watching for a second, but then she turns as well, and they help Hyland over to the stairs.
Oakfeld is going to reach out and just take a little bit of Akka's hair.
Okay.
And he's going to just mix it into the potting soil, the plant he has.
Okay, no problem. You just trim a little bit of hair and mix it into the soil.
He's gonna grow a new one.
No, he's done that before. Anytime someone dies, he just,
Oh, okay.
As you gather your
I'm sorry, I don't mean to.
and mix Akka into planting soil, that is where our campaign ends, for now. As there are many loose ends that remain. But for most of you, congratulations, you survived an entire campaign. Akka, or technically Matt, you aggressively did not survive the campaign several times.
It happens.
Which is kind of an achievement in and of itself.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining us for these 4 years of adventures. Is there any questions you guys have before we
So
sign
many
off?
questions.
I mean, yeah, we have time for a couple.
Oh
if you
my
have some.
gosh.
Yeah. Also, if you're tuning in, one thing that you should know is I don't tell people anything outside of these sessions. So this has been 4 years of just perhaps.
What's the pig farmer doing right now?
So the pig farmer is still very much committed to the Oakfeld cause. The All Faith, though very confusing and not well understood by the 3 initiates so far.
3?
It's coming along.
Are the other 2 as pigs?
No. They're humans.
Ooh.
They're both humans.
I feel like this is a really important moment, and I'm just like blanking about it.
I mean, I would like to know what like the prognosis on Gracial Duneth is, but I understand if that's too big a
That
question.
is
Yeah.
unfortunately going to be something that will be revisited in the second campaign. But what I will say is, there was a period of time, and on maps currently of Everest in 1470, there is a whole southwestern section of Everest called the Spore Coast, completely covered in fungus. And when you look at the current map in 1481, that coast no longer exists. You know that this dragon hates rot. And so perhaps this did help you in campaign 2, in a way.
Good job, buddy.
Will Oakfeld's book ever reach the Fae?
That remains to be seen. Oakfield survived, and so I'm envisioning at some point all of you, a new Matt character, and maybe, and definitely Shay, are going to be going out and finishing up the Jaruxa part, figuring out the Staff of Twisted Fates, tying up those loose ends, and then from there we could probably figure that out. But probably yes. Any other questions?
I have questions. I think I gotta think of like the one that I'm gonna ask because there's so many.
Did we ever have like the actual like means to get rid of all of the phylacteries at this point?
At this point,
Yeah.
so he had absorbed 3 of them back into his body. You guys never really got him to talk about it, but he cannot. I think his exact line would have been, he needs to be whole to meet Azra. And so he needs all of his phylacteries back to undergo his next phase of transformation. So you absolutely could have destroyed the remaining ones. As soon as he had that ring, it changed things pretty drastically. Getting the ring, very important, but I'm glad that you did that. So yeah, you absolutely had the means to do it.
Okay.
Is the Grey Lady gonna be going after Gunter now? Still?
So the Grey Lady is a really interesting
Yeah,
track.
that's because
The Grey Lady, if you guys had failed, the Grey Lady was the only thing that was going to keep Zystris contained to Dominion, and the only reason why it wouldn't have probably spread to Everest at the point of the campaign that we start. The Grey Lady is like a trump card in a way. She can kind of keep the balance of
which
power
is
in
also
check.
evil as hell.
She does not hate Gunter. She has nothing against Gunter. She is
It's
not
a
even
contract.
involved in Gunter anymore. Inflagathos, the 5th layer of hell.
Bless you.
Lady Fianna, the ruler, the archdevil, has a very, very personal
She's got the
vendetta
hot.
against Gunter.
She's got the hot.
And it is the hells themselves that are claiming Gunter, not the Grey Lady.
Okay.
She had nothing. She like
concept contracted like a
Wiggle
deal or
away.
something.
she is all about contracts, and she does
Okay,
all
that
of
makes
these
sense.
complex things. This was a 3-way contract between a devil, herself, and members of the Finger Gang. There was a point where you could have made a similar deal that she would have had assigned to her father/husband. It's a complicated relationship. It's canon 5e. It had nothing to do with that.
So if Gunter comes back in campaign 2,
My father. My daughter.
that's
a lot of
a
stuff.
lot of stuff.
Lot of
That's a character to have in your body.
And also for Gunter, I don't know how much you picked up on this. There was a point when you guys were in Koltaram at the very, very outset. You ran into Falrin Hillbane, and you know about hill dwarves.
Yeah.
That you gain what are called, I can't remember the exact name, but they're basically when you do something bad, you lose your clan name and you gain a name of shame. Hillsbane.
That's bad.
Falrin is the reason the hill dwarves are gone.
Yeah.
It was something that he regretted tremendously. The reason that he was part of this resistance, trying to fight this hopeless battle against the dragon, that was his redemption for killing Gunter's entire people.
Yeah, he fucked up there. And not all of them. You missed one.
And Falrin, you saw it, but did not, I don't think anybody registered this. Still faded, he has the tattoo of the Midnight Assembly. So the Midnight Assembly originally were the people that poisoned that. They were doing all these things in the background. You never really pieced the Midnight Assembly arc together, but you killed the leader. Yeah.
So long ago.
The ship that is on top of the Underdark passage that we went through.
Yeah, that was my next question. Was like, what happened to that bad boy?
Well, yeah, I want to know what happened to that boy, but I also want to know about my bad boy, the wind chimes. What's going on with them? Are they still okay? Are they blowing, making music?
The wind chimes were probably cast aside. The Silent Circle has possession of the ship.
Assumed, yeah.
Okay.
Figured that.
Okay.
That being said, Eleanor,
They didn't keep the
if
chimes,
you
though.
were to make an attempt to claim it,
Yep.
that would be valid.
Yep.
And they would honor that.
I would probably would, assuming we get back and I only have a minimal amount of debt. Her like Eleanor's like thing would be like 1, get home, 2, cry to my parents,
Oh.
3, once that gets sorted out, be like fuck the ship, and then sort out her debt.
There's like a whole montage of like you making peace with your family, coming home, and then like finally going to bed, and then eyes open, shit.
Exactly.
Campaign 2 coming. Yeah.
Brenna definitely took like all of Aka's magic items, like all of them. If she can take the arm, she's taking that too.
Yeah, no problem. You
and
can
the goal, part of Brenna's goal,
just
in
have
addition
to-
to, as I said, like Aka would
Twist
have
it
absolutely
3
wanted that.
times to the left,
But
2
you know,
times to the right,
yeah.
push up, and then push
And then
down.
click.
And it pops right off.
And, but Brenna hasn't forgotten that the debt is there, and that Akka's whole point always was we can just give the items back. So,
You just give them back.
I would like to say, if we ever go back to
according
Dungannon
to
and we
plan.
go to the antiquity shop,
Yeah, my question was going to be what's going to happen with Dre and Mr. Gift.
So Drea.
I mean,
Drea is going
probably coming in. And
Drea is going to
Gath.
Gath. Gath and Ganon, there's going to be a calling of Dragonborn now because the pledge. This is a real big deal. And so there's basically a dragon civil war that's going to happen, Dragonborn civil war. And because you guys brought dragons back into the world,
It's going to be
it is a
big
much
thing.
more violent combat than it could have initially been.
Yeah.
dragons have that superior.
Oh, one other thing that might be interesting to you. Kindscale would not have existed if not for the Finger Gang. But also, Kindscale having such a low intelligence, after he was pulled from the tomb by your group, he was able to manipulate Kindscale a little bit too. And so part of that whole arc was there was a relic that he was trying to gather.
Glacial Duneth?
No, Kindscale.
Oh, okay.
For Glacial Duneth is the Black Death. You guys have heard about Glacial Duneth a couple of different times. During the First Age, the first heroes were the ones that vanquished Glacial Duneth to usher in the Third Age. So you...
It's skipped right over the Second Age.
Sorry, from the Second Age.
She's always like casually measuring Glacial Duneth, but like it's never ever in detail.
There's a lot of stuff like that. So like Aristah the Heavy Hand, Aristah the Heavy Hand, she's been mentioned several times. There's statues of her everywhere. She's one of the first heroes. Aristah Everbright is a paladin to Helm. Her grandson, you guys met at one point, and I can't remember exactly his deal, but for her, she is the person that broke the dwarves free from their enslavement from the giants. So there's a whole ballad actually that Millie Winslow wrote called Aristah the Heavy Hand, and I wrote the whole thing out. There's if you guys had gotten to the tavern that he was at while he was performing, you would have gotten the full song.
Where was the tavern?
I can't remember.
We
where
were
you
at the
guys met him.
across the street from the candy factory.
Yeah.
Oh, the candy.
You guys are, But so Eric, like there's a lot of people that were kind of sewn into the story, and that if you had discovered things about him through Aristah, you could have learned a lot more about the Cold Forge. You could have made that process way easier, but then you never heard the song, and so you guys spent like 30 more sessions looking.
Yeah, we can make a lot of things more difficult.
Yeah. Yeah.
That seems to be a theme where the party kind of just drifted within the range of being of a helpful thing, and then just turned around and went the other way.
Yeah. Yeah. That happened a lot. So right at the beginning of the stream, there was an island that the group was supposed to go to for 45 in-game minutes. That was the time I budgeted. And then Allie, who was playing Morwen at the time, got drunk and crashed her ship into the reef, backed it up, and then crashed it again. Sunk the ship, marooning them on an island that was roughly the size of, like, I don't know, Cambridge. Into like a 7-day adventure. I had to create a whole new arc, like a whole story thing came out of it. But that happened a lot.
The right Duke
Happened a lot. And then also in Yorn, you guys ruined a very cool flying ship that was almost the length of this battlefield.
The first time or the second
The
time?
first individual flying ship.
I don't know if this was ever explained in the campaign before it was around. What's the deal with the big trees in Yorn?
It's a giant.
That giant ficus tree.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's what I've
So
always wanted to know.
that's
There's two of them.
Yeah, so that's Wargrowth's workshop, is that floating island that you guys have been to a couple times. And it was a like an herbal workshop, and he had done all kinds of things, experimenting on plants to create these giant-sized plants fit for growing in this high altitude. And so the ficus tree, and that was a ficus tree, it's just called the ficus, and I refer to it in my head a lot, but you guys never really got to hear about it. The ficus is essentially the Whomping Willow, and when you saw that huge map, anywhere that the branches were, you can strike within 10 feet. And so this was like, because the group always spreads out. And so they're going to spread out through the arcane laboratory, and they were going to fuck with the tree because they always fuck with everything. And this was the one time they didn't. And so they just got in, they got to like look around, touch a couple things, and just leave completely unimpeded. Until you guys teleported back at night, and then Eleanor rescued you guys from or Eleanor and you rescued the group from
I remember that.
getting whomped.
just casually drifting the boat, our ship, across the cobblestone.
And the other thing is, so
I love Yorn.
super meta, but before the first age, some of the original gods were Mistra and Melora. Mistra is the god of magic. She sacrificed herself in this other event. That's why there's that huge tree in the Sunrise Islands. That's where Melora shed a tear over they were lovers. Shed a tear over her fallen lover, creating this massive tree and this huge nexus of power. Mistra dying created the weave. And so in Yorn, this cloud giant city, the cloud giants all worship Mistra. Mistra gave them magic before the weave existed, those huge giant runes. Those trees were all descendants of gifts from Melora. And so when you guys go to Everest, there is an area that is called Melora's Refuge. That was like where they hung out when there were nothing else in the world. That's where life comes from.
I love that.
Yeah. But yeah, Yorn's pretty cool. I like Yorn.
Yorn, I had to say Yorn. Like it was the first place we basically started me.
Yeah.
And you, and just like it has like. It reminds me of a little bit of just floating rocks. It reminds me of, I don't know, I really like floating rocks and structures and stuff. It's my favorite place.
The Floatstone Fortress, which the Zimi ended up using, was supposed to be your guys' base of operations. I tried so many times to give you guys castles and things, and you guys were like, nah, you gotta take a tiny flying ship.
Oh no, ship is so much better than cast.
But like the first ship you guys were supposed to get was huge. It was like it had 3 decks. It had like arcane weaponry. It had these like cool sails that were made out of silk. It was such a cool ship. And then
Slept on it comfortably.
Huh?
You could have slept on it comfortably.
Very much so. Yeah, there were multiple rooms. The captain's apartments were not just one room; there were multiple. It was like a whole thing.
It was nice.
Yeah. It had heating because it was flying through the air, unlike your ship, which did not. But like all kinds of cool things. That was one of the few things I had to tear up was the ship.
Question from the chat.
Mm.
What's Morwen up to besides being dead?
Are we allowed to know what Morwen's up to?
Not currently, but I will tell you. When Morwen touched the wrong mirror within the Feywild, she was transported across the Glimmering Oasis, which is, as it was kind of hinted, where she was originally from. Tabaxi are from across this place known as the Glimmering Oasis, which is where all heroes go to die. The spirit of Gunter. If you read the website a long time ago, it said that there was a grave that appeared open.
Mm-hmm.
That was on the Glimmering Oasis. That was Gunter's spirit having been revived and having left.
When that brief moment where he was a hero, and died,
Morwen
then came back and went back to being an asshole.
went to wherever it is that Tabaxi are from. Oh, so I should probably mention this too. Morwen and Shay's characters are intrinsically connected. Shay's Shay's grandfather.
Yeah.
The whole thing about Jaruxa was that Jaruxa had a wife. This wife
is that. Continue.
This wife, whose name I'm blanking on right now, Imianthe, is the wife. Yes, so there's a point where Morwen almost died, and she had this vision, and she could see elms everywhere, and she was called Morwen of the Elms. And she could see this person, almost like her human, reaching for her, and there was a figure behind her. That was Imianthe. And Imianthe was working with... So, another level meta back. Morwen is a Panther companion to a ranger that Ali plays in a different campaign.
Right.
And so that campaign Miles' home campaign connecting to this campaign through the Glimmering Oasis.
Miles' home campaign.
There was a
It was a campaign prior to the original.
Oh, was that before the stream?
Yeah. No, not even before the stream. This is like a different group of people.
Just completely
a player in our group happened to run it.
From
and so that was a way of connecting that. And so with all of that in mind, basically Jaruxa's whole thing, his name in the notes is Jaruxa the Driven. Everything that he has done, and he is the reason that the alt sank. Everything that he has done has been to try to reach Imianthe. That is all that he wants. And he'll do anything, including sacrificing his own daughter.
Right.
And so for him,
do it a couple times.
Imianthe and Morwen's human were working together to try to break the veil and retrieve Morwen, and then they could have offered the help of the Star Elves. But none of that happened.
Nope.
Yeah. And then for Heinrich Heinrich, you guys know, got lost in the Feywild and traveled for a long time. That was connected originally to there was a tiefling named Omen.
Yep.
And originally Omen was
In the
like
prophecy, right?
Yeah. And so Omen, there's actually a pencil drawing I did in 2019 that has a picture of Heinrich on it. And you guys were like, that looks a lot like, that looks a lot like Heinrich. And it's like, yeah, maybe. And so that was my back door. If anything really crazy ever happened, that was a way that we could pull Heinrich back in. There's one for Akka, or not for Akka, there's one for Gunter as well.
There's thousands for Gunter.
How many times did Gunter die totally? And also Akka?
Literally, okay, on screen or in game, Gunter probably died 3 times.
Like actual died and needed to have like a spell help to bring
Right.
back. 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But then in terms of like drop to 0 hit points,
Right.
easily 30.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Easily.
feigning death and
I wasn't even counting feigning death.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
And-
easily.
dying outside of the campaign prior to and presumably in campaign 2.
Yeah. So
Maybe.
a lot of really interesting things there with Gunter. And Gunter's life was so long. It was mentioned, but Gunter killed the last dragon to walk Alberon prior to Kindskill.
It was an
So
accident.
Gunter killed both the first one, the last one of the last age, and the first one of this age, which is amazing.
Great work,
Or the
bud.
last one of
And
this
then you
age.
release
Did
the
it.
dragons again.
Um,
Oh, it was an accident.
Yeah. No, Gunter connects to so many people. Gunter connects to Meliora, obviously, because Gunter is the reason Meliora lost her arm and eye
Yeah.
in the one shot that we did. And
Yep.
so that was because Meliora was Tina's character.
Yep. And if she had ever recognized Gunter,
Yeah, it would have been bad.
it would have been bad, but he was a grunk.
Yeah, it like worked out so perfect for like months. They were
When did we
literally
find
right alongside each other.
Meliora was up in Yorn
Yeah, I remember now.
She's the eye patch lady. That's
Yeah.
very stealthy.
with also like metal parts because
Yeah.
Gunter pushed her off of a
Good
car.
question.
Yeah, and she hates Akka. You guys are.
No, she
That is the
hates,
very
she
long
hates
answer.
Gunter. She feels neutral about Akka.
I remember that
They
very
had
David
established
conversation. She hates
No,
Akka.
that wasn't
Meliora?
Meliora. No, that's not
Oh,
Meliora.
who was that?
That was Carranza.
Ah,
Yeah,
yes.
and Carranza does Carranza's thing. So Carranza's a conjurer, and so Carranza's a transmuter. And so I was really hoping you guys would wonder why her highest level spell was transmutation. You guys walked through this stairway that could summon like your worst memories, and you saw this small figure. The story basically behind her was she was this great transmuter, or this great transmuter, yeah. And in her home in Derby, there's this really treacherous mountain range. There's a rock slide, and her son got buried. And even with all of her abilities, she couldn't get him out. She could turn the rocks into other things, but she couldn't do anything. And so she learned teleportation, because that would be the one thing that she could have done to save him. And then if you had pushed her to go up the stairs, you would have experienced that story.
Oh, that would have been so sad.
But
You write some really good tragic stories.
and it sucks when they don't come up. I've been holding that
The
for
one
like 2
you
years.
just improv yesterday with the Starfinder was very sad.
Oh yeah, that was.
That was really sad. I was like, wow, Spice is
That was
evil.
a sad
Glad
one.
Bubs is not paying attention to this.
Any other questions to wrap up the campaign?
So many, but I'll hold them in.
Will
for campaign 3.
Abernathy ever appear in Starfinder?
No.
Okay.
Alberon and Starfinder are separate universes. And I
Okay.
want to keep them separate because the Alberon story is 10 campaigns long. I have it all
Jesus.
roughly planned out. And it's so when you look at the
1,000
map,
more seasons.
Oh my god.
Sessions forever.
I want to go to not Trident.
Till
what's
we're
the ocean world?
287.
close up canvas.
Wherever the ocean world is, we had like the mirrors of the ported Trident or whatever.
Triton.
Trident, yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you about that too. So this is the world map, and each continent is a campaign. Each continent is designed to be a different kind of campaign. So if you look at Everest, that's the Feywild campaign. Ganon is a dragon-based campaign.
Where's Trident?
No, so that's a different plane. I'll get to that in a second.
Okay. Oh my god, are you serious?
Mithelstream is a sweeping, this is where the tieflings come from, lots of devils and demons. The Kimpet Islands is a hex crawl, and then Derby is like a Game of Thrones. Sunrest is a high magic area. Everything has like a reason. And so ultimately, although it was kind of alluded to,
A Garby campaign, that would be cool.
The Darby campaign is going to be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
But that room that
I'd be
you
interested
saw
in that.
behind Abernathy, it's unfortunate that you didn't roll higher in your perception check.
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
really.
Yeah, Abernathy.
figure-
I remember when
There's
you
been
first told me
2
about it.
things that you've seen in this campaign that are part of the 10-part
Yeah.
season.
What was the other thing that besides the one we just saw?
If you can guess it, I'll tell you, but I'm not going to tell you right off.
Oh, come on! After campaign 10, you'll tell us.
So Triton, the Triton world, that was called. I can never remember it. It's a drifting fields, and so what that was. There was this rock, and a Triton community existed within it, like this living coral.
Yeah.
And so within there was trapped air, and this whole little society basically trapped in essentially like a 3-story building. And outside is just water, and then shadow around it. And then if you ever were to emerge beyond that, there is a kraken that has made multiple little pearls of darkness around communities that have to sacrifice to the kraken in order to maintain their safety.
Oh, that's some Cthulhu
And so you
shit.
guys could have like emerged in, had a whole adventure in there and never learned about the outside of it, but you could have. And then that could have been something much more. That was part of Dimmon's Drain, which is part of the series of connection points that were created by the Elemental Deluge that connect the material plane to different elemental planes. But that was the Triton.
I like that place a lot.
Yeah, and that was your opportunity to potentially bring Tritons into Alberon, but
Oh, well.
would
Next
that be like a
time.
net positive?
there was actually a point in time where you had a very brief. And actually none of you would know this, but Matt, before the campaign, you guys saw this weird mechanical creature with 6 legs, kind of spider-looking. It was by a forge, and you guys just were like, "Fuck that," and walked right by. That is a remnant of the Fazarakian Skald.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
That was maybe your opportunity to start the process of Warforged being a thing.
Damn.
But we'll wait.
And then if Aka didn't die, he'd be able to find that at some point.
Brenna's gonna bring Aka back, don't you worry.
Yeah. So if
5
that's all the
days.
questions,
Yeah.
um,
I can do it. There are gonna be tons
There's
of
more
bodies.
questions, but we've got 9
Yeah.
more campaigns for 'em.
What was
so-
your favorite NPC?
favorite NPC to
Yeah.
like play?
Sure.
Is it
Oh,
Snowman?
who?
Thistle?
No, I loved Thistle. Thistle, in terms of like personality-wise, being Thistle, I was so bummed that he died
Yeah.
because I wanted to play Thistle
all
for the
were.
whole campaign. Did you guys get to see Thistle at all? So Thistle
Thistle's just
was
like the
a
nicest guy.
in Captain's Keep when they marooned themselves and I had to create a whole like arc. They were in a bar and there was a throwaway NPC in the corner that was a furbolg who had exactly one magical ability, and that was to kind of like stumble on water. And so he like stumbled into a bar, and he was based off of the dude from The Big Lebowski.
Ah,
And so he like just walks up and he's just kind of like, "Oh, hey." And like they for some reason got really attached to him very quickly. And he was basically just high strength, low everything else. And he was on a pilgrimage from his people, from the Furbolg of the Upper Bow, to bring an offering to this place. And the group was like, "Cool, we're gonna help you, we're gonna do this." And then they get like right to the cusp of it. And he's like, "Man, it's a bummer that I'm not coming back from this." And they're like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, nobody's ever come back from this ritual." And so they were like, "No, we're gonna get you through it." And then they just lugged him right into battle. He got cut in half.
Oh no!
Yeah. It was bad.
He got
loved this
fucking bisected by that fucking asshole.
Yeah, Bernal Osarius.
The biggest of bad guys.
So your character may have
because he killed Thistle.
come into contact with material from Bernal because he is the foremost authority on Alberon of stars. He is a wizard all about the stars. He wore a gown of golden stars. He had a ship that was like a magical ship that could fly, sort of. He had all kinds of cool stuff. And then you guys got him brainwashed, and now he's guarding the Pillar of the
All right.
Scales.
It was not Gunter's fault.
It was Gunter getting blackout drunk and leaving a priceless relic in a
after
bar.
being force-fed the alcohol.
Aka's death, but yeah,
I
go
don't
get
know.
it.
Do you have any
Go get it.
So, Akka, because you died, don't really need to ask what Akka is doing after the campaign. Eleanor, you already said first thing is you're going home.
Yep.
You're crying.
Yep.
You'll be relieved to know your family is okay.
Good.
Make a perception check.
I'm so good at perception checks, guys. You're gonna be stunned by how perceptive
Still
I've
playing.
always been.
Look at us play.
16.
Okay. You kind of burst in the door. Your family is safe. They seem confused that you are so
17.
emotional. But they're relieved that you're finally back from that phase that you've been going through. They want you to start the family business again, you know, all that kind of stuff. At talking to them and kind of probing them, it seems like nothing out of the ordinary has happened. And so they're fine. Brenna, what are you doing?
Brenna's gonna make it her mission to
You have wine glasses? Or champagne glasses?
Somewhere, I don't know where they are though.
Brenna's gonna make it her mission to get Akka back in one way or another. And I think, again, Hannah doesn't really remember how it happens, but Akka would have explained it to Brenna, we decided. So her goal is to try to get his soul back into a vessel.
Roll a d100.
Oh wow, this is really tight.
5.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we play that one shot, we'll find out.
Nice. And then regardless of whether she's successful,
Do we have like a bottle?
the
Or this
There's a corky bottle opener somewhere. So regardless of
right there. She probably is going to go back and hang out with the Goliaths
Point it
for,
that way.
you know,
Yeah, we'll wait until
the rest of her time.
For sure.
Yeah.
And without too much trouble, I mean, they will welcome you back with open arms. It's Brittle the Axe.
Yeah.
And so they are enthused by you being there. What I would say is, at a certain point, if you were offered, would you choose to become a werewolf?
I think if she felt like she'd earned it, then yes.
Okay. So we'll see. And then Oakfeld. What is Oakfeld looking to do at the end of the campaign?
Oakfeld is looking to at least go to go to Dungannon and do a little bit more with the All Faith. He wishes to express the idea that it's not about what you believe in; it's that you have faith, and the fact that just believing and holding on to something in your heart is important. And he wants to not only just spread that in Dungannon and Dominion, but also in the Fae, and like try to like bridge the gap between humans and treants.
Okay.
And he's gonna take his book that he wrote, and he's gonna try to go to the treants and like try to change the view of treants. And
Roll a persuasion check first.
Change my view.
There's 2 rolls that you're going to be making.
I have a question.
Okay.
This is
Did Shay get the message about the other
Yes.
Goliath?
Yes, she did.
Okay, cool.
I have to look up something on my,
I never can keep straight.
What was
what
the
double
straight
zero
roll?
means.
7.
And you can roll it at advantage, actually.
Okay,
Sorry.
No, you said that before.
That's cocked.
No, that's a 17.
Dude, that's so it's in the
Okay.
top of the container again.
Oh my god.
Move that thing out of there. Why do you have it there?
Because I like the little obstacles.
Yeah.
It's an obstacle course
Oh
of
my god.
forest.
You are an
20s.
obstacle.
And that's a 1.
So, Oakfeld, you, if you were to return to Dungannon, you would find that unfortunately, a lot of people seem kind of off-put by the idea that you would, turn away from the sort of mainstream gods, and what's more, like combining them all, very confusing. And you find not a lot of receptive people in Dungannon.
You actually lose the one follower that you have.
Roll a d100.
Is this for the, yeah. 85.
85. Okay. So what I will say is, Oakfeld, as you find yourself disheartened in Dungannon, you begin to turn towards the Fae. And with a little bit of time, it takes you longer than most, you do discover that across the Emerald Expanse, there's a continent called Everest. And there entry into the Feywild is as easy as going to any one of a number of places. And so, without too much trouble, Oakfeld, you'd make your way there. And we'll figure out more in Campaign 2.
Oh, I'm so excited.
So, thank you so much for hanging
Joe,
out with
would
us.
you do the honors of popping
sure.
it, please?
For 4 years.
And I just want to say thank you for doing this for 4 years. I feel so
You gotta say something
fortunate
when you pop it.
to have you as my DM and to have been a part of this journey for all 4 years with you.
Thank you. It's, this was something that was really special to me. Alberon was something that I created over about 10 years of running games for kids and teenagers kind of going through rough times in their life. And, me and Matt actually met working in McLean's hospital. We were working in a locked inpatient psych unit. I got to run Matt's first game of D&D ever back during 4E. And Matt promptly became the most chaotic character
As I am
on
wont
a,
to be.
on a locked inpatient psych unit with kids and you were supposed to be the staff. And they were like trying to calm you down.
They were like, "Oh my god, this is what happens."
I mean, sometimes you get a magic wand and you want to use it,
Yeah,
and it ends up burning down a sacred forest.
Nice.
been there.
So your character is always
Many more
being
adventures. And hopefully,
I feel like that character should come back as having been one of Gunter's personas
Say
when
that
he
again.
was really young.
Give it a nice little ending button that we're gonna end it on.
to many more adventures.
Hey!
Yay!
Thank you for hanging out with us. We will be back next week. However, Adventures in Alberon, our primary campaign, is taking a 1-month hiatus. But in its place, every Friday at 7 p.m., Kara will be taking this seat and running Adventures in Alberon Sea of Ice. This is going to be a 4-part miniature campaign that is going to bridge the gap between 1470 TA, the end of this campaign, and 1481, the beginning of our next. That will begin in January. But until then, please stay safe. It has been an honor. We'll see you next time.
Bye.